Okay, so we are starting again. Hopefully, there won't be a delay in response this time. Sorry, guys. It is what it is. It's network, but I promise you, by God's grace, today it's going to be a blast because our guest is fire. She is a clinical I'm sorry, she's did I say clinical psychologist? She's a counseling psychologist, and guys, she's seasoned. She's so loaded. She runs Living Waters Counseling International, and she's going to be joining me soon again because I'm starting over. Hi Toby, I see you. Thank you for joining. So as I was saying, so she is a counseling psychologist. She runs Living Waters Counseling International. And today we want to talk about 10 different things, And because we are wrapping up the Let's Talk Masculinity today, the Let's Talk Masculinity live talk. Is anybody excited? I am excited because this is the 9th edition. So we've done this for 8 Sundays, and this is the 9th Sundays. Love you, Toby. Love you, bro. So, okay, Ma, can you send in a request? She's here, and let's hope. Fingers crossed, God. We take charge in the name of Jesus. We take charge in the name of Jesus. We take charge. There won't be a delay. There won't be a delay in Jesus' name. In Jesus. This has to work. It has to work because we are here to talk about powerful things. So it has to work. And it will work because it's according to God's will and agenda. And so it will work.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Hope there's no delay.
There's no delay on my part. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. I was speaking, the reality that God in Jesus Christ was working. Because that's work. We are here talking about powerful things.
It just have to work. It doesn't have
to work. Exactly. So good morning, Ma. It's a pleasure. Let's start all over again. It's a pleasure seeing you in on video, but it feels like I'm seeing you in person. Actually, I thank you so much for giving us the time, and the platform to invite you on our program because having a professional on the program is another level. Having normal is the truth. Having people, because we've sampled people from different, males and females from different aspects of life. But having a professional talk about this, is another life. This is another side to it. It's not beings at all. So thank you for volunteering. Thank you for we can't thank you enough.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege. There's nothing too special. There's nothing overtly special. It's what we do. So we find it as a pleasure to do this often and often. So it's an honor, it's a privilege for giving us your platform to do this with you. And I really admire you. I appreciate you because when it comes to masculinity, it's not always an issue that is often talked about. So for you to just get up in the morning and say you're going to do a series on this, I know that it takes a whole lot from you. It takes a whole lot of planning, finances, strategizing, even getting people that are willing to talk is also an issue. So I admire your courage. I appreciate you. And I say, thumbs up. You're doing well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You just made my head sweat. Thank you, Ma. So can you briefly introduce yourself? Let's know what you do, and yeah.
Okay. My name is Precious EDORISIAGBON. I'm a mental health practitioner, educational psychologist, school counselor, emotional intelligence coach, and parenting coach. But I do a whole lot of things. I have a certification for life coach. I have a certification for business coach and career counseling. So I have a whole lot of things that I do that are under what we call blending. They blend together to form the career itself of therapy and counseling. So you just don't know who comes to your counseling clinic or your company to seek for help. I also do a lot about trauma, body image, and all of those things. So the whole me is about counseling and therapy. So either male gender, female gender, children, marriage, relationship, education. We do a whole lot behind the scene. So that's
Wow,
me.
that is so huge. Ah, ah.
There's a
Wow,
lot
I
that,
love it because the thing is, there are some people that all they do is just marriage counseling. They don't, but having to combine all these things is just how are you doing it?
yeah, I will say that my passion personally, coupled with my childhood experience, might have been my major push. You understand? Because I hate when people are going through stuff and either they are not able to get help or they are just going through it as a reason of their ignorance about it. You know, there's two things for you not to get help and you know that you need help. There's another set of people that they don't even know that they are going through stuff. They are
Yeah,
just living in absentia, they are living in ignorance. So you need to bring this knowledge, awareness to people that this thing you are going through is not devil, is not demon, is actually an issue that requires some counseling, that requires some therapy for you to get back to normal. So I actually am very passionate about the mindset shift. I'm very, very passionate about getting people to get that knowledge that they desire, that they need to upscale in every aspect of their life, every aspect of their life. And you as a person, you come first in that agenda. Before you pursue your career, your academics, you first. Are you mentally healthy to pursue that thing that you want to pursue? So it becomes very essential that I love it when people are mentally okay, when there is no imbalance of any sort, when their personality is healthy 100%. Although there are challenges that might come along the line, but a mentally healthy person, we know how to tackle those challenges that will come along. So I am just after humanity and making sure that you are good and that you are doing fine.
wow, thank you. That's huge, and that's actually the message of the now, because for so long we focused on the spirituality,
Yeah,
aspect of life. And so when, for example, when a spiritual leader misbehaves, we don't think about, is he mentally okay? We feel like because they are spiritual people, they're supposed to be fine.
yeah.
And so thank you so much for shedding light into it. So can we get into the, because we have a lot to talk about. The reason why I made it 10 highlights is because firstly, this is the last talk of the show. If I'm going to be doing another one, it might be like a recap of everything everyone has talked about. But this is like we are the last, but not, of course, definitely not the least. The guest. And the reason, I think it was kind of planned by God, so to say, because it's like, this is like, okay, everybody has talked from what they know, their experiences, what they feel. We've had people on the show say some things that, they pour their heart out. So having you is like, okay, we are trying to seal the whole thing. We are trying to look at it from a professional point of view. So I think it's just a perfect way to really end the whole thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
thank you so much. Do you have anything to say to that?
well, I would say that everything that everybody have said so far, they are meaningful, they are relevant.
Exactly.
Every professional theory that is useful to per issue, that is useful to every issue at hand. You might be going through crisis, you might be going through childhood trauma, for example.
Mm.
The therapy that will work for Mr. A will be different from the therapy that will work for Mr. B. So it now
Wow.
brings therapy. All those people you see that maybe they are not professionals, they are giving you therapies that have worked for them. They might not even know that that thing is a therapy, but they have applied it, they have seen the benefit, and they feel that it can help another person. I was
Hmm.
let's say few minutes ago, and somebody was saying every woman that encounter God in the Bible have different perception of God.
Hmm.
Every woman, a woman believing God for the fruit of the womb, the perception she will have of God will be different from a woman going through a struggle of parenting a child with a Down syndrome.
Hmm.
Because a woman that is parenting a child with a Down syndrome, she will have off and on mood. She have a child, but the child is a challenge to her. You don't have You are even saying, God, can this womb just show sign of pregnancy? You see, the way you are relating with your God will be different. Your perspective of who God is will be different. The Bible verses, the way you will interpret it will be different. So if I want to preach to someone, I'm going to use the therapy that's smooth, that is in the same line with what they are going through. And that is what those people have done. So it's not that they are not professional. They are professional in their own sense, because you know what? Experience is actually the best teacher. So even,
Really? Coming from
yeah,
a psychologist.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because you know what?
Wow.
Funny enough, when you go through stuff and you pass through it, it grinds you. It opens you up and remove those limiting mindsets that you once had. You know, there are people that will say, that thing can never happen, it's not possible. But when they go through it, they'll be like, I never knew this thing existed.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So, experience being the best teacher does not mean experience is the greatest teacher. Do you
Okay.
get me? Because the smart ones, they learn from other people's experiences.
True. Okay, nice. I think I'm getting that. True, true. Ah, that's deep. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
Ooh. Hi. You brought fire today. Let's get
Ah,
into it. I love this. I love this. So the first thing on our highlight is the boy child.
hmm.
Please, if you have any question for me, so I'm open to answer, please, because I know people ask me that, TJ, why men, why guys, why is it men that you're focusing on? Because, and let me just give a brief on it. When I was when I was an undergraduate, I did programs, as regards relationships, and then I did another one as regards parenting. I was really a leader in several spheres in school. So, and of course, as a woman, the society will want to, especially the church, they want to box you into, because you're a woman, that means you're a woman leader. So I had a lot of ladies, looking up to me. So I naturally just cared more for ladies. I preached a lot of ladies' messages, but I just found out that that is what was actually going on in the outside world after I graduated. I saw that the
Hmm.
society has actually tilted so much to female empowerment,
Wow.
and I'm like, please, who are the people teaching the men?
Exactly. Who is nurturing the men? Like, who is nurturing the men?
Because I see, great women of God, doing wonders, doing conferences, but it's women. How to be a wife, how to be a pastor's wife, how to be a faithful woman, how to marriage seminar, women, and women empowerment, female empowerment, women this, women that, Women's Day, International Women's Day, it's so many. And then I'm like,
Ah,
even on International Men's Day, they don't really celebrate it like that.
yeah.
Unlike women that they will even do videos, you will see it go viral, and then like, what is really going on?
Hmm.
So that's why I decided that, you know what? Because, and then another thing is, I have a lot of male friends, and they struggle.
Yeah,
They struggle a
you do.
lot. And I think the reason why they open up to me is because I created a safe environment for them to just be themselves. So in the long run, I found out that, you know what? If one person watches our videos, I'm fine. I'm
Yeah.
fine, because they need to. There's actually someone on this live that's reached out to me and said, Do you know that I followed your masculinity session from day one, and it has redefined me as a person and my relationship?" I'm like, thank God. Oh. So
You're comfortable.
that's why that's why we're focusing on the male, so I'm thinking we should just start from the background, which is the child, the boy child. So that's why, and I know you have experience, because when you were talking to me, you told me that you counsel a lot of, you have experience in young males, and from someone that has experience in young males, I want to really ask, what do you think the boy or the male child really needs, the most?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. You see, just as you have said earlier, that the male child are marginalized in our society. It's not new, it has been there. And there was one point I love in those highlights. What was generational trauma or intergenerational trauma? You know what? Let me try and take it very slow because
Hmm.
I want to break it down for every participant to understand. You
Thank you
see,
very much.
a child, a child. Let's tackle that child first before we add the main child.
Okay.
A child will always be a child. A child
Hmm.
will want to be pampered. A child will want to be cuddled. A child will want to be a funny at times. A child will intentionally seek your attention if the child is not getting it. A child want to be around people that love them, that have this emotional outreach to them. So a child is always a child. I posted something a few days ago. I said, before that boy or that man becomes a man, a boy, remember that he has human feelings, just the way that get child have human feeling. So when it comes to the male child in Nigeria, in African society as a whole, I think personally that it is a generational approach, which is that trauma that parents themselves have carried over from years and decades ago. We meet it, we grew up and met our parents saying, man up. What was that? Grow up. Why are you behaving like a girl? And there was a parent, how does girls behave? Like how that quote behave,
Yeah, why are you behaving like a woman? Why are you behaving like a girl? Yes.
behavior. Is it in quotes that this behavior is for male, this behavior is for female? And do you know what I actually got? I've run through some experiments in the past where I discovered that a male child that was raised up by a loving single mother, we have highest, in fact, 70% behavior will behave like a girl. Take out the research yourself. A male
Wow.
child that is raised, nurtured by a loving single mother, we have those emotions that you talk about. Female talk, female have expression of their emotion, they say what they are going through, you will see it in that male child. So what am I trying to say by this simple experiment? It is not actually the male child in quotes. It is the environment and the cultural norms that have caged them up and put them in one box. So when I know that physiologically they have their own hormones that can regulate how they react and how they do things. That is sure. But however, the environment has been proven to contribute to our genetic adaptation. That is, the environment, the people that surround you have a way of even shaping, even though you are a boy, you know that you start behaving like a girl. It have a way of changing that genetic.
Environmental factors. Hmm.
Yes. So if you grew up in a home as a boy that you see things, everybody telling you man up, be a boy, don't do that. Why are you crying? You are going to end up becoming extremely hard. You are going to lose the right words to express your emotions. You are going to gradually shed off those human skins that gives you ability to reflect on your emotion and express your emotion. You are going to become so hard that you don't know what compassion means. You are going to become so hard that you don't know what it means to say sorry, I love you. Are you getting me? You are going to get
I'm
to a
feeling
stage
you.
where the only thing you are thinking of is, maybe you have seen the new trend now about teenagers trying to become independent when it is not even right, especially among the male child. The environment that we are now in African society is pushing them to seek for what is not yet time for them to seek. Do you understand? So the
Yeah.
male child is just like a natural child, but it depends on the parenting style that you adopt for that male child. It is what will determine how that male child will turn out to become a youth and to become a man. And funny enough, we just have the carryover of this emotional blackout in our society. It's just
Yeah.
a carryover. A father wants to train a child based on the way he was trained. It's an auto set
Wow.
until you detour suppress your emotions, you carry out a personal traumatic healing process. That is, you know that this thing that my parent did to me, I did not like it. I want to heal. I need a therapist. I just want to shed off all of these things. And until you carry it out, you are intentional about it. It's a carryover. You will give those things to your children. I've seen a father that is battling with self-esteem. The male children will battle with it. It's a carryover. That was why when I saw that generational trauma, I smiled. Everything about our society, it just propel us for that trauma. It's just natural. You will see people, a male child, no matter how brilliant, intelligent he is, he will still be struggling with speaking because maybe by peradventure the time he was growing up, the parent always shut him up. Why are you talking like a woman? You're not supposed to live here. You're not supposed to be in this type of conversation. I've seen a male child that finds it very difficult to have a conversation with female. And I've seen some that find it very easy to have a conversation with females. You said something just now. You said you support them probably when you were in school. That's why they always come to you. That's one. But the major psychological reason why they always come to you is that they don't want to open up to a male because the male will see them as a weakling.
Wow, true. Oh, I didn't think about that.
The male will see them as a coward. The male will make jest of them. The male will play with their emotions. Are you getting it? So they prefer to come to a woman because naturally a woman is an incubator. A woman is a smoother. So the woman is able to smooth them, pamper them, and listen to them.
True.
You will see a man going to the man, maybe as a teenager, you say, guy, that thing just stand though. I don't know what you go say. Come on, Jay, not know what it be. Come again, I know. But if it is a female, no, if it is a female, you will also know see all of these things. When I saw that generational trauma, I said, this girl head, he did there. That was what I just said. I thought she knows what she's doing. Because it's a kind of, we see men, male children, they go to their mothers more than their fathers. And you will still see, though it is normal, that's the Oedipal complex and the but sometimes you still see female that are closer to their mother, and you still see some that are closer to their father. But for the gender, it is 70 or 80% male that are closer to their mother because they can go to them and say, oh, mommy, I hit my leg. In short, I've seen a father that will always say, you are coming to tell me that you hit your leg or that your shoe is damaged. Like before I got to your age, I've already started farming and bringing money for my parents.
Yeah, true.
So that mindset of that father, he is pushing that child away and he's hurting that child emotionally. That brings us to child abuse.
Wow.
Everything is in a corner. I tell parents that the way we raise our male child should not be different to the extreme the way we raise our female child. They need it. They need both. They need those emotions. They need those training. You cannot be saying, Ada, come and help me in the kitchen. Jumbo, go and watch football or go and play ball. It doesn't work like that. If a boy child has never gone into the kitchen, he will not know the heat in the kitchen. He will not know how to value a woman that stresses up herself in the kitchen to make the food that he's going to eat when he grows up as a man. He will find it difficult to even appreciate the man, the woman that makes the food.
Yes,
they lick the plate and they say, come and take. Not time. Because if a married woman is here, maybe you will discover that man does not even know how to cook. Men that will not give a comment of appreciation after eating. Some of them, they don't even know how to cook. They have not been in the kitchen before. They don't even know how to slice onions. They don't know that when you are slicing onions, tears might be coming out from your eyes.
Like it's extremely hard at times.
So you see that we need to evolve. We cannot raise, when people are saying narcissists, I will just smile. Who raised them? Who raised them? So Some of them are reacting to what they have seen, not even to go
Growing
to
up.
homes where there are domestic violence.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this issue, this conversation is deep. But one thing I want everybody to take home is that when you are raising your male children, raise them with emotion, raise them with love. And when it comes to parenting, please don't bail out your children, especially for the children. This topic is broad. I'm trying to hold
Yeah,
myself.
hobbies. I can see that.
I'm
Feel
trying to hold
free.
myself
Feel free.
because don't try to bail your children, because even as you are trying to pamper them, make them feel that you love them, bring them into the activities of the home, don't make them look as if they are strangers. You
Hmm.
also try to obey them because you want your son to love you now, feel that you love him. If he does
Yeah.
something wrong, you not caution him, you will not tell him what you did is wrong. You just I've seen parents that were bailing out their children when the child was younger.
Hmm.
When the child became an adult, they cannot even say hello, can you sit down? They are even afraid to talk to the child, like to even say hello. And
Hello.
children have become nuisance in the society.
Oh my God.
So all of these things start from perspective. Our mind needs to be in short, we need to walk through our mind about parenting a child, parenting a male child. We have to see it from the perspective of he's my child. So everything about his life must be balanced. Don't also overdo it, especially for mothers. You now say, I want to pamper my male child for him to be compassionate, loving, and be able to express emotion, and you will not be raising a coward.
Hmm.
So it's a balance. You have to balance the structure.
Hmm.
Let me stop
Wow.
there.
Wow. 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 Ah. I have not recovered. Hmm. Okay. Okay.
TJ,
Yeah. No, because the thing is, these are the things. For example, now I am very single and I'm not married. But
oh,
I yeah, I'm not. And when I say it, when I say I'm single and I'm happily single and I'm not married, some people feel like I'm faking it. I'm telling
right?
you. Yes, I had one of my guests last week still felt that. I said, I am actually single and I'm happy. And
Of
I'm not
course,
saying I'm not going to get married,
of
but I'm
course.
just saying that, right, this is the phase of my life. I am happy with it. And the
You're
reason
saying
is because, yeah, the reason is because I know that these things are, they are huge responsibilities. Marriage, raising a child, you can't afford to mess up.
at all, you can't.
So if I am not okay here, and I'm saying I'm happily working on myself, and I want to be balanced to a point where I know that, okay, when I'm raising this child, I'm not going to be the perfect mom. Or let me say, when we are raising this child, because I can't be the only one. That's another thing. I don't want to be the only one to raise a child, by God's grace. you know,
Mhm.
when we raise a child, myself and his or our dad, you know, they see, they know, and when they grow up, they will come back and say, "Ha,
Thank you.
thank you."
Yeah.
And so I know, because I grew up with my siblings, I was practically there for almost all of them. All of them. I can't say, like, since when I was young, I was there for them. So in fact, it took me, this Deeper Life magazine. I don't know, I've forgotten the name. This Deeper Life magazine. Is very, yeah, it's very very, they release every Sunday or so. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think they bring it to my house, and I read it because I didn't really even understand my siblings. I was so young, and I don't know, for some reason my parents just trusted me with them. I don't know how.
Those
Uh,
daughters are always like that. You don't have a choice. You are a mother figure. That's
exactly.
another
So I had to. You said, what did you say?
that's another part in
That's another
African
topic.
mechanism. That's another topic.
I tell you, because mirror. Thank you, Chris. Mirror. That's that mirror. So there was one that had parenting. I had to read it, sit down with it. Because it had stages of growth of children. So I had to study, the behaviors of my siblings. I will read it. So as to just understand how to deal with these kids, how to be there for them. And so I saw that hands-on right from when I was really young. And I studied how children grow and everything. So right now that I'm saying I'm single and I'm happy and I don't want to mess this up, people don't actually know the they don't know what has gone into it. Because I know that raising one child, just one, is hard, is a lot of hard work. And so when the pressures of the society that come on, go and get married, you need a man, you're getting to 30, your ovulation period is drying.
It is well with our soul.
It's true that's what they say. That when you are approaching 30, your ovulation is going down the drain. There's tendency to have fibro and blah 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 that they say. Anyways, they scare us and they make us, even the people that are not ready to be parents. That's even where I'm going. Because of I have to quickly give birth. So we have so many unprepared parents.
Yeah.
We have so many parents that are still babies. They are still growing.
Yeah.
So everyone is growing, but I feel like, I don't know if you get me, like they have been abused. They have not healed from their trauma. They bring a child into the world. They were raised the same way, and they feel like, okay, like you said, the author said, let's just do it the same way we were taught. And then it just becomes this generational,
Yeah, frankly, some, what I said before we started, I said some people did not even know. They don't know that the way they were brought up is not the best way. Do you understand? They did not know. So it takes someone that even know that there is a problem to raise a child. And I posted one thing on my platform few months ago. I said, because you are doing fine, because you ended up well, because you are looking, you are a decent girl, a decent boy, you don't do this, you don't do that, does not mean you are okay.
Wow.
You are fine. Let me say it again. Because you ended up well. You are a big boy now. You have a good ride. You have a home. You build house. You are doing well for yourself. You are doing well for yourself, Abi. You are fine.
Yes.
Okay. You ended up well, Abi. All your goals and aspirations have been met, isn't it? But that doesn't mean you are doing fine emotionally.
True.
Because funny enough, if a trigger comes up to bring back those repressed memories, you will be shocked at who you will become. So we need to pay attention to our mental health. It's very important, because raising a boy child is a technicality of its own, because the society has already made it. It's a stereotype about masculinity. So everybody feel that they should be strong, they should be brave, they should be alert, they should be broad.
Hard guy.
And that's not it.
Okay, so now that we know that is not how to raise a male child, and you said that a male child should be raised with emotions and love, are we saying that when a boy child cries, for example, or is sad and he's talking, children sulk a lot, they just want to stay on that pain, and you don't want him to feel like a victim all the time. At the same time, you are still not trying to remove the emotional part. So how do you now balance?
I brought a teddy bear before. I did not know that I removed it because I wanted to experiment with the teddy bear.
Oh my God.
Give me a few minutes because I need to take that teddy bear. Sorry, I need to explain.
No problem. Oh my goodness, it's been hard.
Yes, I think I was holding it. Now, a male child is crying. Somebody beat the male child or something happened. That is what we call modeling emotion. I call it modeling emotion. Yeah. The child comes. Instead of saying, shut up, keep quiet, go away, are you a child? Are you this? Are you this? You say, oh, what happened? Calm down. Take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. You give the child a tissue paper or an handkerchief. You can help the child to clean it. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. it's okay. Then if the child still feel like crying, allow the child to cry. Okay, I know how you are feeling. Oh, that must be very painful. You can give the child a hug. You can,
Hmm.
if you weak in your place, you can begin to call it my prince, my king, this, that. You are calming the child. Eh? But you know what we some mistake we make? Eh? We correct the child before calming the child.
Hmm.
When you are correcting the child before calming the child, you are an antagonist. You are
Wow.
you are attacking his ability to express his emotion. You are
No
making
wonder. Ah, sorry. Continue.
you are attacking his ability to express his emotion. And what happened if you know that you're instead of the way I calm my teddy bear now is okay. Then after calming him, and I say, what happened? Some children, that's when they will now explain. Mommy, daddy, this is what this person did, this, that. Maybe he is wrong. You now say, okay, I know that it must have been very, very painful. I know how it feels. But I think you you went overboard a little. Don't you think? Okay, you now explain it. You did this person did this, and you did this, and the person hit you. I think you went overboard a little. Don't you think? Some children will say, I did so, but what he did before, yesterday, that was how he did it, and he did this, and I say, oh, you were retaliating for yesterday. Okay, it's okay, I understand, but don't do it next time because it's wrong to take issues of yesterday to today. Okay, don't do that next time. Hope you understand. You know, if you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you can begin to preach scripture into it. God said you should forgive your neighbors. You begin to add those to it. Then that child have learned a lot. All the correction you want to give, it will sink into that child. But do you know the mistake our parents made in the past? Is that
Hmm.
they bring the correction to slap us. They will not say, you are crying, are you a child? Are you
Ah,
a this?
a lot of that.
Some parents will even go to the extreme of saying, your younger sister beats you, I mean your younger brother beats you, and you are not crying. No, you cannot beat him, you cannot beat him, you cannot beat him. At the end, you have given room for strife in the family. You have taught that child to fight. You have taught that child not to think before reacting. In that simple incident, the mind of a child can keep information for as long as more than a decade. They can keep it till they die, especially when they are 5 years and above. Don't try them. They can retain information for years. Some of us still remember what someone did to us, what our wicked uncle, our auntie did to us when we were 6 years old. That is the mind of it.
Yes.
And they magnify it because they don't have the tools to analyze situations rightly. So they magnify it. If they just slap him for just chin chin, he will just amplify it. Can you imagine? He just beat me, chin chin. He beat me, he bruised my life, he did this one. It will become very strong. 10 years time, they will see that uncle. They will still be looking at the uncle. That
As
uncle,
a
that's.
bad person.
Do you get it? So correcting a male child is not different from correcting a female child. Let them
Hmm.
express those emotions instead of attacking them. So when you now notice that the child now cries a lot, according to what you said, every time everything happen, you call him and say, see, you must master your emotions. I tell parents, if you don't go for a parenting class and you want to parent children of this generation, it is not
Mm-hmm.
easy. You will tell the child, you must master your emotion. It is essential. If you don't master your emotion, people will begin to give you a lot of emotional blackmail. Don't we see it? There are wives that know the weakness of their husband and they blackmail them with it. So you must train your child to be able to master their emotion and be able to organize it. Do you understand? Because in
Yes.
mastering your emotion, we enable you to know how to express it. Some people will master their emotion to that extent that they will not express that emotion immediately. They will keep it for later. It depends on the techniques you want to use. It depends on the strategies you want to use. So you must train your child to be able to master their emotion. When you notice that everything in their own voice, even children that have tantrums, even till now, there are people, let's not even go to those issues. There are people that they lack self-control. They can, heartburst can just happen as we are on live video now. Something just trigger them, they go overboard.
Mm-hmm.
So when male child, remember, When these emotions are not expressed, it's bottled up and it bursts out to become anger, aggression, violence. It is needed. You need to express those emotions. Any emotion repressed in childhood will always come back in adulthood and it will express itself in different dimensions. You think those violence we are seeing, a man beat a wife and kill the wife, you think it is the emotion that happen now? Maybe the child has remembered how he was once pressed down and he
Wow.
couldn't shout. You know, some parents they abuse their children in the name of beating or whatever they call it.
Correction.
So a child that have once experienced that pain, unconsciously we want to pass that pain. We want to transfer that pain to someone else.
That's
Is in
true.
subconsciousness, is in there. So
Yeah, that's true.
when we talk about raising a male child, we have to do it like a pro, like
Hmm.
a professional.
Wow, thank you so much for that. Let's move on. That's this is just number one. Hey God. Hey. Okay, we'll try. Child abuse. So can you just I think I like the flow at which everything is just going inside one another. So it's just flow. So let's just pick it up from child abuse. Because you were
Well,
talking about child abuse.
yes, and I was saying just now about child abuse. Child abuse are in different form. But for now, I feel that we are conversant with the child abuse of physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. Um,
Hmm.
but there is an area we are not really very concerned about, which I would like to really dwell more on in this
Okay.
platform now. We are not really concerned about emotional neglect and physical neglect. And
Wow.
these two are one of the thriving child abuse in Africa, especially in Nigeria. And there are different tribes that have the magnanimous of this, but I will not want to call the names of the tribes.
Ah.
So, yes. In African society, I have observed that, yes, I am so keen. I am right now, I'm so keen about that generational trauma. Because this child abuse I want to talk about is still coming from that generational trauma.
Yes.
A child
Yes.
has been abused by someone will definitely abuse another when they did not get healing, when they did
True.
not go for therapy. And it also connects to the way the parents play their role in that abuse. I come
Hmm.
and meet you, mommy, I was abused. Let's even go to the child now, forget the male child for now. And you say, shut up, it's the way you dress, this and that one. The child keeps it. Abuse keeps on going on. The child will not come and meet you again.
No.
So you
No.
see, the parenting has failed. The abuse, the pain, the stigma, the trauma is in the head of that child, is in the brain, everything, all the emotion, chemical, all the neurons, everything is picking it, all the body is reacting. And at the long run, when the child sees an opportunity to vent his or her anger, he's going to do it.
Hmm.
Do you see that it will transcend? Now we talk about incest. Incest is gradually growing in Africa, especially in Nigeria. It's growing because a child was abused by the father or the mother and he could not speak up. He couldn't get healing. Some keep doing it. I've heard of cases that a married man still sleep with the mother.
A married man.
Yes, the mother abused the child when the child was young. The child continued to sleep with the mother till
Ah.
he married. He is still married. He's still sleeping with the mother.
That's
Now you
is
are
that
going to
one
say
not?
it's a
They
spiritual.
will say it's Ojuaye, Ogwaye.
It's
Don't
not only
know.
Ogwaye. It's not only
Eh?
Ogwaye. Do you know what? I don't want to go deeper because of people I heard. The story syndrome. A situation whereby there is a trauma bonding between somebody that was victimized or a victim and the perpetrator. So sometimes
Stockholm,
he
okay, Stockholm syndrome.
yes, there's this bond that he will get to that place that even no woman can satisfy him again.
Oh my God.
Do you get it? If we
That's
feel
crazy.
there is actually drawing him back to go back to the person. Have you not heard of cases where people were raped and they always clamor to go back?
To their rapist. A lot. Even the people that they beat, domestic violence, they still go
So
back.
they are now attached. Some of them will even when they are going through therapy, they'll tell you that I like seeds when he's done beating me and he pampers me and he takes wow. What we hear in the therapy room, sometimes I tell you, I said, let's even have a community for therapy so that we can be empty, we can be onboarding some of the things we hear. Because sometimes we
Yeah.
too
Therapist therapy.
because there are things we hear that you will just be what is you'll be walking on the way, you just shout, Jesus. And our yes, and our profession, yes, our profession forbids us
To
to
react.
disclose any of those information unless it is deadly. So you will just be
Mm.
walking on. Sometimes I will be walking on, I will just smile. Sometimes I will walk and say, eh? Maybe something I, maybe something I heard in 4 or 5 sessions ago. I will just scream. I will just shout, hey, yeah. Sometimes I will just shout, say, hey, what is this kind thing? Sometimes I will be in my house, I'll be talking to myself. That what is this? So it happens when it comes to abuse. So all those issues, I think we are overflogging. Everything is always there. Child abuse, sexual abuse, all those ones. Always. I want to really dwell on neglect
Neglect. Yeah.
because it's part of abuse. A lot of us, and that's what is trending now in this 21st century parenting. We are so concerned about getting job, working, bringing money home, putting our children in the best schools, giving them the best clothes, the best technology devices, and all of those things. We are gradually pushing our children out to go and get the emotional care, the attention that we should have given them.
From
You
someone
see
else.
from somewhere, you now see children, teenagers, youths looking for peer acceptance to cope with their emotions. Some are dealing with serious self-esteem because their parent is not there to nurture them.
Mm.
If some parents that are full housewife that are not doing anything, they are glued to their phone,
Mm.
Facebooking, Instagramming, Twittering, forgetting the emotional needs of their children.
Mm.
The religious leaders are not left out. They are pursuing other people's growth and their children are declining.
Yeah, right.
So we have a big problem in our hand whereby the children, their stomach is filled, their body is well adorned, but mentally they are depressed. Mentally they are empty. They are in taste, they are looking for, they are searching for where they will get filled emotionally. So that is
Yes.
why some of them they now engage in things that is unheard of just to make themselves happy, just to make themselves loved. That is why you see that cyberbullying has increased because there's somebody online that is always making them feel happy, feel loved, feel special, and they can do anything that the person asks them to do so that they will not lose that friendship, so that they will not lose that calmness, that joy, the peace that that relationship brings to them. So it's high time we invest on the emotions of our children. Emotional development of a child is not only exposure for the child, it brings experiences that the child have never even encountered to the child. I used to tell people that my dad, hey, I love to sit down with my dad. I can sit for hours because things that I've never seen nor heard, he will sit me down and tell me. He was
Mm.
not only building me up, but he was also building my mental health to be ready. You know, sometimes you face some things, you are frightened, there's this agility, you want to move away. But when you have heard of it before, you don't you just say, oh, my
Don't
father has
move
told
me.
me before. So you see a lot of children fall victims of abuses and other things out there because their parents have never said, oh, my son, you look cute. I love you. Oh, look at your bicep and tricep. Wow, that you are becoming a big man. Come, 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 come. Let me touch you. Let me see how it is. Let me see the bones. If you tell that to your child, your son, once a while, I believe that when a woman has said, oh boy,
You're so hot.
see what I said, the man will not even like, he'll be like, what's wrong with
I
this
hear
one?
it every day at home. So.
Do you get it? So most time people always say, yeah, girl, you don't say girl, I love you. It's also the same for the male child. So if you have a male child that you are just training, I used to call it training. You used to train male child. In short, there are many male that train themselves.
Yes.
Many men that train themselves. And there's another part of that emotional neglect, other abuse, is that some parents also abuse their children sexually without them knowing.
How?
In the house, you begin to watch things that are not supposed to be heard by your children. You
Hmm.
play lovey-dovey that will make your children to be interested in trying it out.
Knowing more about what is going on there.
That's what we call grooming. Some parents groom their male child. They don't even know that they are grooming them.
Hmm.
Do you understand? You now send a male child to go help you to buy condom. Hello? You will now tell a male child, help me to go and dress that room, jare. Help me to dress it well, help me to put flower, help me to like you are making their appetite to be interested in what is happening. It's just like when you are cooking food in the kitchen, everybody in the house that's what some of the parents are doing. So
Wow.
it is important that we also pay attention to our conduct in the house, especially for married people. You pay attention to your conduct in your house. And also, if you have a nephew staying with you, pay attention to all your lovey-dovey that you do in the sitting room. If you want to do it, go to your room. Wait for them to be out. Don't give signal. That I'm not saying don't show emotion where they are. I'm not saying you can give yourself a hug. You can give your wife a peck. You see all those deep kissing that some parents do in the presence of their children. I don't personally advise it.
Hmm.
Because some of them, see, from the age of 13, what's 13 say? 10, they are
Hmm.
already having morning erection. Every normal
Wow.
man is supposed to have erection in the morning. When puberty starts, some children start at 8, some start at 10 with this fertilized food that we are eating every day. So it's dropping the age at which they start. Yes, it
Eh.
drops. Yes. All these hormones,
I didn't know that one. No.
agriculturists, you
Wow.
don't know.
That fertilized food increases erection early. Or
No,
it,
that fertilized food that is all over the market, it
yes.
has a way of also acting in our
Um,
body to speeding up the release of some hormones for puberty and maturity.
wow. Sincerely speaking, I didn't think about that before. I
So
never thought about it.
what we have in our society now is you see people maturing overtly beyond their age because the things
Wow.
that they do more often is also triggering. Is also you know when you eat food, there is, I don't know how to explain this. I'm also a nutritionist, so I'm trying. You know, okay, for
Okay.
example, don't cook vegetable to be overtly cooked so that the
Yes.
nutrient will be
We'll
retained.
still be there. Yeah.
Abi,
Mhm.
that nutrient that retained will enter your body, isn't it? Your
Yeah.
body will absorb those nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
Remember also that when you did not cook that food properly, there are still some nutrients that the plant has extracted from the soil that is still in that food. And the
Yes.
soil that plant abstracted that nutrient
From
is a fertilized environment.
yes, because they put
And what
fertilizer. Yeah.
fertilize do is speeding up things. So
Yeah, including
then
yeah.
to go to your system, part of it is going to also go to your system and also go and stimulate speedy release of some hormones.
Wow.
You see, you
That makes
I,
sense.
I this a life. I don't all these days now you see 10 years Bobby don big. In
Eh,
my days they will even be asking you what is it, are you a man? You know they come out.
yeah.
Do you understand all of these things? The food chain we have in the market, a lot of them are fertilized. In short, most of them are fertilized. You understand?
Hmm.
Especially if you
Mm-hmm.
live in cities, you go to supermarket and all of those things. So you see the way everything is. A normal child at puberty wakes up as a man with erection.
Hmm.
That's normal. It's not that he's masturbating or anything. That's normal. Even as an adult, you wake up as a man with erection. It's normal.
Hmm.
So if a child goes through all of this and the parents are unable to relate with the child, explain to the child, give the child, oh, some children when they start happen, they will be my younger cousin then he came to me and said, ah, auntie, see, oh, I know the chapa, I just woke up. And I said, and I said,
Really?
I said, it's normal. Come. I start thinking, I said, see, it's normal. It's just normal. You understand? So these are the assistance that they need as they are growing up. But when
Like,
they don't get it, what they are getting in the environment is telling them that, oh yeah, now that this thing has started standing, oh yes, you see that thing that mommy and daddy was doing that you try that. It will not help the
it's on, it's on,
it
it's
will
on.
not help the child. So they need an environment that will not set their appetite on fire for those
Hmm.
things that they are supposed not to be hearing or saying. That's why what they hear, what you hear, it affects it tell most of the time because it's a heart of the heart. Heart of the heart. The abundance of the heart. A man speaketh, a man behaves. When you continue to hear something, see something frequently, there's this tendency that you want to try it out. And that
Hmm.
is the experimental stage of teenagers, especially preteens and teenagers. So you are going to make sure that you start adapting, you start adjusting as a married person in the home to ensure that all of these things you are gradually adjusting and making sure that it works out when you get there. So the neglect now, physical neglect, is that some of the parents they don't even provide. Was in our days. It was very common in the 90s. You see parents give birth, they don't care whether you are schooling,
Yeah.
you are eating, they don't care. That physical neglect is also an abuse on that child because you are making that child, in short, a lot of them will battle with low self-esteem, they
Hmm.
will battle with low self-worth. In short, self-confidence will be bye-bye. Some
Hmm.
of them will have to go through a lot, even as an adult, to fit in because you have already made them to show. Because when you don't provide for someone that you're supposed to provide for, you are making that person feel that they are not relevant. There was a child that told me once, he said, they know that they cannot take care of me. Why did they give birth to me?
Oh my God.
This neglect have pushed children to going into things that they should not go into. Now, for the male child, the neglect is very high. You see a 13 years old, a 16 years old, an average 16 years old boy now wants to learn Yahoo. Why? Because there is something that is already demanding financial responsibility from them,
Hmm.
which is not supposed to be so.
As young as they are.
Yes, because naturally, the way it was created in the beginning, that a child leaves the parents' house when they are about to get married. That's why the Bible says, a man shall leave the parents. So you are supposed to be with your parents till you are getting married. So when you
Ah.
marry, they will still be with the house. Then you will now pack your things and go. But what do we see now? We see
Ah.
people pushed out. You see a
Yeah.
child from undergraduate, they will not come home. After service is bye-bye.
Bye bye. Oh.
If
Hmm.
the home was pleasant, if the home was good enough, they will long to come back home after graduating.
Right. 100%.
Because even when they are in school, when you pay school fees, you pay hostel fee, you save 5,000 pocket money, you don't care if they are going to wear clothes. You don't care if they are going to apply cream on their body, if they are going to bathe, if they are going to wear slippers. You don't give a hoot about all of these things. And that makes them to look for alternatives to survive. And that is how most of us were trained.
True.
And if you don't detox those emotional baggages, you are going to start having a mindset that that's the normal norm. It's not normal.
It's not
It's not.
normal.
You say you want to raise an independent male child. Raise them in your home to be independent. That is another topic. You can follow me on my page when I'm doing some series on teaching for men. I usually talk about some of these things. You
Okay.
understand? You want to raise a child that is independent male. You can raise a child that will have the mentality of being responsive and independent even while they are 13 as a male child. So it's
Hmm.
not you have to push them out. You see, all this push them and let them be strong. It does not work because you're actually hurting them and they are not learning the right tools to survive in life. You see, that is why we have this competitive nature, this do or die affair that we are gradually having in the society. Because we always
Right.
want to often, oh yeah, if I did not make it, hey, we have this scarcity mindset. Hey, see my brother, he has made it. My mommy and my daddy are proud of it. Me, I must make it. Because we have always made them to feel that, oh, making it is the in thing. Are we
Hmm.
together? So let's work
I'm
on
with you.
providing. When it comes to providing, it should be balanced, both physically and emotionally.
Emotionally.
We should provide. Then we should not groom our children to have appetite for what they are not up to. We should
How?
not groom our children to have appetite for what they are not up to, because it's very huge. The spectrum is so wide, and we cannot talk about all of them in just a
Just
series.
one. Yeah,
You
true.
understand? So, but I want you to take home that you have to have time for your children emotionally. You have to sit them down sometimes, just chat with them, just poke them, put them on a stage and say, okay, talk to me. Yes, how are you feeling? Engage them in conversation. For the male, please don't always say, "Ah, at your age." I hate that statement for the major. At your age, I was already feeding myself. At your age, I was in my own. At your age, I was farming. No, now. Are we in competition? Your
Hmm.
age, my age. You that 1980, now I'm in 2021. Things are
Hmm.
done differently now. Because
Totally.
this pushing them out is what is making us to experience increase in crime rates in Africa.
In Africa, yes, yes, so right. I have a question though. What do you think about parents that compare their children to their friends' children, other people's children?
That's a total damage, a total emotional abuse. You barrack your child, you not sit down and this and is not right at all. It's not right. You are destroying their self-esteem, you are destroying their self-image, and you are raising fire. Even that one is even good between other people's children. There are some that do it within their children.
Within their children, exactly.
There are some. So what you have just succeeded in doing, you have raised what we call sibling strife. Siblings begin to strive with themselves. Hate, envy, jealousy. Oh, and I know it will get to a time you will have going contact. Everybody will just say no going contact. Everybody will stay on their own. You will see some parents, they are not up to 40 years. Their children cannot sit down in one house and say, okay, let's come this holiday and just sit and stay. There must be a quarrel. There must be a fight. There must be
There
an
must be
issue.
clash.
Why? Because you have raised them with the mindset that they must always compete with each other. They must try to outdo the other, and it is not healthy. See, I know that in parenting, we are bound to have favorites. You self, you the mother, you must master, you the father, you must master how not to openly express that this my child is my favorite, this my child, you have to learn it. It's a scheme. It's just that you are trying to say don't express your love. It's hard, yes, but you are doing it for the safety of those your children. Their emotional health matters and their future, because you are going to get a lot of bullying where the others are going to say, go away, mommy's favorite, go away, daddy's favorite. Oh, he's coming, you keep quiet before you go and tell mommy what we are saying. You see, those things, yes, it happens. It happens. So you are going to make sure that you are working on it. You work on it, even when you have favorite. You don't set the stage against your children. Don't set them on stage and say, oh yeah, begin to fight yourself. If you do that, you will pay for it in the old age, because
Later.
that child that really feel unloved will not want to really care much about you. You know, this love is a give and take, it's reciprocal.
It's so
In old
deep.
Yes, in old age, they want to express. You see that song that said, my mother, when you sing it, meditate on it, said, when you are old and weak, I will also cuddle you the way that you cuddle me. All those lyrics, I don't want to also go into them. What is he saying? At the first stanza, I said, you cuddle me, you sat and wet my infant head. I am not praying when you are old, I should be able to take care of you. Do you see that it comes hand in hand? But if you did not cuddle them when they were young, they will never know what it feel. They will not even feel that you need to be cuddled. In fact, some
Mm.
of you did not even teach them how to cuddle anybody. So how will they know it? There
Hmm.
are people in relationship, in marriage, that don't know how to express love, that don't even know how to show love, that don't
Hmm.
even know what love. They are not, it is well. So it is
Deep.
important that
Hmm.
you are giving to your children what you know that you will like to also receive from them. However, never you now make mistake and say your children they are your investment. You see, these whole things are deep. So when you now go to the extreme, after you have invested love, money, time, now old age, you not plan for your old age, you now sit down and say, oh, my old age, my children will take care of me.
You take care of me.
Permit me to speak Yoruba. Tioba.
You know, bye.
Oh, because
I
naturally,
know what.
although African society made it to look as if parents should have this entitlement mentality, but it does not play out that way because now the society is now hard. It's not those days where they can bring yam for you from farm, where they can bring palm oil from you. Now they are working, they are striving to take care of themselves, their family, their children. Cost of education is now very high. So how do you expect them to be giving you one money every month? They come and be saying, "Mommy, you don't sleep, you don't shop, Daddy." So you must also make sure that you are not banking
On
uh
that.
on that, but just give. You give, you understand? It's a natural thing. It flows out. If you any children that was raised with love, they will want to give back to their parents. They want to give that
Exactly.
love. They want to give everything they have because they know what it takes their parents to do those
Yeah.
things for them. So it's natural. But however, don't not pin there. You will not plan for your retired age. You will not plan for your old age. Don't do that. You will not say it's
You
cancel
will not
operation.
say, my children will. That's true. I
I
actually wanted to
like
ask that question, but you've answered already, and thank you so much. Because one thing I the way I see parenting is, I think, is kind of different from is an unpopular opinion, and that's why I'm taking my time, and I feel like people don't get it. The thing is, as much as we want to, okay, you want to give birth to a child, you want to, you know that, but are you prepared to give without
expecting.
expecting it?
Ah, that
I think that's just being a parent, basically. Are you prepared to just give and stop expecting one return on one investment? Just you want to bring someone into the world and change the person's life forever. Simple. That's parenting.
Well, I think for me personally, this one is not psychology now. I feel that the rate of poverty and mediocrity in Nigeria is what has placed us in that state. You understand?
Hmm.
When we train our children up to be our investments, later they will not take care of us. Those entitlement mentality is actually based on the cultural environment. You know why? In Nigeria, we don't plan for our old age. Government
Hmm.
doesn't plan for us. I've heard of people that retire, they will not even get their money. Even
Wow.
talking retirement, let me even tell you, maybe the let's say 30 30 30 20, let's go that way. Let me take it that route. Our generation now is filled with people that are self-employed.
Yes.
And the self-employed people, they are not structuring their businesses to transcend generations.
Generations. Thank
So
you.
they are not structuring their businesses to begin to talk about generational incomes and revenue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If people are not even sure that at old age, if they are unable to move around the way they can move around now, how will they feed for them sef? How will they now talk about their children and grandchildren? So there is already problem with the poverty that is in Africa and the mediocrity that is widespread.
Mm.
People are wired in Africa, they are wired for now, now, now. They are just
Now.
wired for the moment. Do you understand? So there are different opinions on actually making sure that you are investing on something that will feed you in old age. And I
Not
think
your children.
recently there have been some glide towards real estate. People
Yes.
trying to build, put tenancy as a return on investment when they grow old and all of
Oh.
those. You understand? But I will also encourage us as youth that we should also begin to think about investments that are not via assets, but they are online. They are in
Mm.
the clouds. Do you understand? Investments that are in codes that you
Mm.
cannot wake up in the morning every day, every hour, something is making money for you.
Passive income.
Do you understand? Because naturally, how strength will come. Maybe you collect 2 million in a year from all your tenants, before 6 months, that money will be gone. But
Yeah.
if something that brings income every day, it will be better. So
Exactly.
that mentality of parents expecting their children to come and take care of them will reduce if we change the narrative. As
Narrative.
we are the generation that is most hit with this whole societal change. We
Yeah.
are the generation that is at it because we are the one really experiencing a change from how we were raised and the society we are now in. So we
Mm.
are the one to start a new dimension of a better society. So we should plan for our future. We should plan for our old age and train our children. You should even be thinking of what you will leave for your child. So
Children, right?
are not married, before you get married, write something. Oh, all my child, I will buy houses for them before they are 5. On their wedding day. I wrote it when I was younger, like I think whether when I was 18 or 19, I can't remember. I wrote it, I saw it in an old diary like few years ago, maybe before when I was packing my load after getting married. I wrote it down that I will buy a house for my child. I said I will buy a land for my child. When my child, all my children, and I will give them as birthday as a marriage gift when they are
Wedding
getting
gifts.
married. Yes, when they are getting married, I will give it to them as wedding gift. Like that is a structure. I have a place I wrote. I'm a very diary person. I saw a place that I wrote that my children, there is a age that I will start teaching them independence. I will
Mm.
start teaching them marriage issues, relationship issues. Do you know the
Mm.
worst mistake we make? I don't like the fact that we are digressing too much in this program.
It's fine.
The
Abuse in relationships is there, so it's fine.
okay, relationship is there. Okay. You must know that you should teach your male child and your female child eh, how to start preparing for relationship when
Hmm.
people far away from relationship. I did a program where I was going to teach teenagers how to know healthy relationships, starting from just friendship, because a lot of
Hmm.
people are exploited in the name of friendship, and
Yes.
they are unable to leave the friendship because they don't even know if it is exploiting them. So I was having intention of moving from that exploiting friendship to relationship, signals, signs of knowing an unhealthy relationship in order to avoid entering bad marriage.
Yeah.
One principal called me and said that topic is not supposed to be in that line. This. I just told the man, I said, man, this is the thing that we are missing. We want to start teaching teenagers about friendship and relationship when they are 19,
Hmm.
and they are experiencing friendship from preteen.
Hmm.
If a toddler, if a preschooler can tell me that I have a friend, they already know the concept of friends from
Mm-hmm.
preteen or preschool. You are now
Mm-hmm.
waiting for them to start knowing what is unhealthy and healthy relationship when they are 19. You know, funny thing is that sometimes we train a child or we nurture a child towards fulfilling marital roles. We don't train a child to discovering their own self.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for making that point. Thank you. True. 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 Continue. I'm feeling you. These are things I've talked about for, and you're married, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because now everybody are hearing, no, this is from a married person. So because me that I'm not married, when I say it, they're like, it's because you're not married. You don't know how life is. You've not seen life. I'm like, this is a married person saying it. A bit, you've just seen life. Me, I've not seen life. Accepted. But this is a issue because these are things I say. I say a lot. I rant about a lot, and people say you're just being extreme. It's because you don't have a man in your life. I'm like, no, I don't have a man in my life because I chose not to have a man in my life yet. And it's sounding like, no, she's an African. She just, people just walk up to me and like, are you sure you're okay? Are you sure like there's no, like, is it that they're not coming? I don't know. I'm discovering myself because I use for a bulk of my life. I was, and I'm appreciative of I'm sorry, I'll give it over to you soon. But I just
No
want to explain
problem.
this. Like, people are not ready to come out to say, like, for example, for me, I appreciate the fact that um I had that kind of childhood, but it affected me. I won't lie. This is what
Yeah,
happened. I was there for my younger ones, so I was made to kind of be a smaller parent right from when I was young.
it made you to grow up into the
I
role that you're
I
ready for.
You understand? So I
It is
grew
an
too
abuse on
fast.
itself. It is an abuse. Do you know? No, it is an abuse on itself. You know, I wanted to talk about it just now. I said, let me leave that part. It is
Yeah,
an abuse in itself because you are making a child that does not even know themselves to begin to cater for other people. I could remember then when my mom had a twin, which was her last born. And she was so confident because then I was already maybe 18. I was teen. I was, you know, when your mom give birth, when nobody, people are even expecting that is your own child. You know that kind of
yeah,
situation.
yeah.
So I told my mom, I said, hope this child you gave birth to now, you are not expecting me to come and be your baby nurse or those
Are
kind
you
of things.
serious? You said that?
I was very, when it comes to, don't worry, one of these days I'll throw my childhood over the board. I'll put it in a book because it was a very, very dramatic childhood. You understand? And I don't know how God did it anyway because it was just God all the way. So
Mm.
God gave me that ability to speak up right from when I was a
When
child.
you were young.
Yeah,
Hmm.
when I was. However, I tend not to be that rude, but I always say my mind. So what happened? I said, this one that you will say, don't go to school today, help me to sit down and take care of this. I said, oh, it's not me that you saw, that you went to give birth again. She was shocked, you know. That I said, I will not baby nurse your children. I will go to school. You cannot be stopping me from going to school because you want me to babysit
Yeah,
children.
yeah.
Me daycare, you can look for other alternative. So there was an outburst after that incident, and I was gradually planning towards it. I was planning my exit. I started planning my exit from that moment because I know that with the way things were going, my destiny will be grounded.
Hmm.
My destiny will be grounded. I will be unable to fulfill my own life. I've always been an enthusiast right from time. Like I just love to acquire knowledge. You understand? So when I
Hmm.
have situations that is going to limit me from reading, which I love reading so much, you know, baby will be crying, say, "Come and carry my baby. I cannot ride my baby. I cannot read." I said, "I can't do this." And this self-awareness, that's one thing I preach to teenagers. You must know what you can cope with. All this, I don't want people to be angry. I don't want them to see me as a bad person. It's damaging. You are
Hmm.
damaging yourself, especially for the guys. I don't want my people to say I'm
People
coward.
pleasing. That's people pleasing.
It's not normal. It's not right because you are hurting yourself. Go and read the book, Setting Boundaries.
By
Maybe
who?
I'll send it to her. I've forgotten the author's name now.
Okay,
Setting
you can
boundaries.
send it to
What
me.
boundaries, you have to know what works with you, what works for you,
Yeah.
what is convenient for you. You don't have to always be jumping out there, pleasing people, stressing yourself for people that are not worth it, people that don't even value you.
Hmm.
The essential, especially for this issue, I see it as an abuse. You cannot be asking a child to be nursing a child. That's an abuse. You are giving a responsibility to another person. What is naturally yours, you are saying somebody else to come and take it, and you know that it's harming the child. Because it gets to a time that the child will even be crying, the other person will not know what to do. The
Yeah.
child, and my case was twin. So the twin will be crying and I'll be looking frustrated, angry,
Wow.
hopeless.
Hmm.
So the way we were parented, we have to change the narrative. It is important. It is important.
Okay, so let me wrap up my story. So I found out that I was just in a bubble of, okay, you have to be. So my parents really tried. They got help, but you know, I just, because, so this is it. Like, I was just saying this last week. I have, like, everybody does have extrovert and introverted tendencies in them, but mine, you would my introverted side, I didn't get the chance to explore. So I didn't know that I had a very special introverted side that I just needed to go deep into myself and spend a lot of time alone. So you know when your parents are just shouting your name, come and do this for me, come and do that for me, take care of your kids, your children. So it was like everybody was just all up in your face, you know, you have to be here, you have to be there, you have to be. So I didn't get the time, enough time to be there for myself. I was there for everybody. Do you get? I was there for everybody. Even when I didn't want to be there, I just had to be there. Do you get? And so I think it was the cause of but I thank God, because if I had gotten married after university, because I wanted to get married after university, but it just didn't work. So if I had gotten married after university, I would be a wounded mother, because I didn't get a chance to even know who I am, my purpose, what God has called me to be. It was now that I started living alone, and then I started figuring that there's so much to you, this guy. You don't even know yourself at all.
Imagine. That's why it is important you find yourself before you find a man.
Exactly. So when I say, how about teach me self-love? I know our parents, they tried their best, they sent us to school, but have you taught me how to love myself, how to discover myself, who I really am? Like, no one taught us that.
And it's even worse for the male child. It's worse for the male child because there's already
Imagine.
a picture. There's a picture for the male child to fit in. Do you understand?
Yes, like a mold.
You see a male child saying, I want to go and learn hair styling. You will see somebody say hair styling
It's for
for a
girls
boy.
now. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's when you talk about that self-awareness, self-discovery, it's even harder for a male child to not be able to try not to do opposite of what the society has set.
Hmm.
So it's difficult.
Hmm.
There are some male child and they don't want to actually marry. They don't want to be just like Apostle Paul. But their parents will not want to hear.
Like they are just not interested in getting married.
Yes, and some of them, let me shock you, is a state of a trauma that they have not also healed from. Because maybe they are
From
seeing the marriages, how it's going around them. They just, you know what? I don't think I can cope with all of these things. They have been exposed to marriages that are very, very negative. They just say, I don't want it. I've seen people that said, I don't want to give birth. And some of their reason, if I dig deep, is because they don't want to end up like their own parents because their own parents
I
failed.
said, I actually changed my mind about that. I think last year I said it in my mind. I just sealed it up, but I didn't let anybody know. Like, I don't think I want to do this. 'Cause I've done it a lot. It felt like I've parented 5 kids.
The burden, and when you leave it, you feel, oh, that burden left me. And now that I'm no longer parenting anyone, I feel allowing parenting to come again is going to steal me again. This me that I have
Exactly.
now
You
is going to
feel
steal.
me.
No, it
Yes.
now brings fear. You understand? It brings fear. But there's one thing I always tell people is that choose to be different. Choose
Mm,
to be different. Instead of birthing plenty or many children that you will not be able to handle, stick to
mm,
what you can handle. You see that
mm,
cultural norms of you don't give birth to one, you don't give birth to two, break it. Break the
mm,
bias.
mm,
Give birth to what you can handle. Don't give yourself headache. Don't traumatize yourself with an experience. Don't relieve your trauma. Don't relieve your trauma. I can handle two, fine, go ahead, you are doing well. I can handle three, go ahead, you are doing well. I can handle 100, go ahead, you are doing fine.
mm,
Work on your capability when it comes to parenting. There is
mm.
even selection. If you know you cannot parent a male child, go for sex selection and give birth to all female child.
Is it
And
possible?
yes, go for sex selection. You give birth to the gender you want.
Wow.
So this life has been made easy with technology. Made easy.
But our culture now, they believe that if you've not had male and female, you've not had, it's not complete.
So you see, when I said breaking the stereotypes has to begin with us, these are what I'm saying. You have to
Mm.
personally work on your mindset. See, what the society is saying, just let it not reach you. That's society. This is my life. No, really.
Right. Mm.
Achieving your purpose, sometimes you have to be positively stubborn and dogged. That's the society. This is me. I know what I can handle. See, go and check any great man, any great woman. They broke some norms in their pattern. Maybe in their family, they had to
Yeah.
struggle with
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
In their community, they had to struggle with something. And even you that is sitting now, there are things you have to break out from to be
Yeah.
where you are now. That maybe at first everybody say no, no. You say I want to do it.
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
Wow. Hey God. Hey, hey, it's almost to this is 1:35.
We
Okay.
are we are moving. We have talked about
Um,
almost everything.
we've
It's
talked
not that
about
we
almost
are not
everything.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not just following. So what can you say about a father's touch in the life of
Wow.
a male?
A male child is very, very important. A father's touch in the life of a male child is important because it's going to give them avenue to play with their kind, express their mind with their kind. You understand? And watch that modeling, how their father is behaving, they begin to
Hmm.
behave like. You understand? That's why when I talked about a single parent, maybe for example, a
Yeah,
mother training child, and when he does it with all the feminine attributes, the child might have the tendency of behaving like a female.
like a
Why?
girl.
Because the child only had a woman in the house, a model of a woman in the house, how the woman walk, behave, talk. That is the only model the child was seeing. He was not seeing the model of a father. So he's going to have this tendency of not even knowing how a man should walk. You're going to have tendency of not even knowing how a man should speak. You're going to have the tendency of not even knowing what a man should watch, what a man should listen to, conversations men should engage in. You understand?
Hmm.
However, I also see this as a stereotype trying to pocket male to fit into a structure. Do you understand? So when you
Yeah.
are a man in a home, try to be dynamic. Don't
Oh,
always show a side that's just masculinity is this way. Any other way is wrong. No.
hard guy, hard guy.
Yeah. So let just add. You know, sometimes I've seen fathers that we say they cannot sit down on the floor and be playing with their kids for what?
Hmm.
Do you understand? It's not right. So don't make fatherhood look as if it's that terror, that lion is coming, everybody run away.
Hmm. Hmm.
You understand? Don't make daddy is coming, soldier is coming. No. Let people be excited. You know why I'm saying this? A father's touch for some of us here, we have experienced a positive father's touch. Some of us we
Hmm.
have experienced a negative father's touch. When we get
Hmm.
part of healing, I'll talk about all of these things for healing.
Let's just
But
go straight into it because we've actually gone through single parenting. So let's just go straight into it.
okay, so for you now, you are a man. You went through absent or an absentee father, a father that
Hmm.
is always absent, nowhere to be found. If you went through that phase in your life, you have to deliberately make an effort to go for therapy. But if you cannot afford a therapy, is nothing wrong. You begin to work towards it by going or growing with friends that had a father figure in their life. You can also learn from them. You understand?
Hmm.
Friends that have a father figure in their life. And if there is a single mother here, I always advise single parent to try and have a man figure around their child.
A
Be it
positive one, no, at that.
yes, a positive one. It can be your brother, it can be your nephew, anybody can be your cousin that can also be seen as a man around them. It does not definitely mean that the person must be staying with you. Sometimes you can just go there and say, oh, let's go and greet uncle. Or just make sure that there is a figure around the child that
Male
the child
figure
knows.
around.
They know that, oh, this is how men behave, this is how men speak. You understand? That's it. Then a father's touch. Now we are beginning to have some issue with that a father's touch because some father don't intentionally want to learn effective parenting. There is always a strife in the home when the woman is trying to enforce rules and regulation, enforce behavioral conduct, enforce social behavior, and the father is leave them alone, their kid, leave them alone, their
Yeah,
kid.
a lot.
That
It happens a lot.
That brings us to relationship. In courtship, please pay attention to what courtship is about and leave what courtship is not about. Courtship is an interview. It's for you to interview your partner. It is not
100%.
time for transaction. You know the
Mm.
transaction I'm talking about.
Oh, that transaction.
Yes. So if you are not transacting instead of interviewing inside
Mm.
marriage, you will not come and be doing interview, and it's not right.
Abi, yeah.
These are some of the things you talk about in your courtship. This, how are we going to parent our children? What type of parenting? See, I said something that I was saying. I said there are different gami in family. There is polygamy, eh?
Mm.
There is the other monogamy, about what they call it.
Monogamy.
There's one monogamy. There is what me I call gamos,
Which one
multi.
is that? Which one is that?
I will explain. There's what I call the monogamous, not the no, the gamos and the multigamous. So
Uh-uh.
if you are marrying a child, well, you are marrying a boy that grew up in a home that is what we call family house. Eh?
Mm.
There is three marriages in that house. There is
Mm.
grandma, there is grandpa.
Mm.
Three marriages in that house with plenty children in the house.
Mm.
You will be looking at the marriage of everybody.
Mm.
He will be picking from the marriages of everybody. And at the long run, that child will be the one to carve out the type of family he wants to raise for himself when he
Mm.
becomes. But subconsciously, because we are like antenna, we pick the one that concern us and the one that does not concern us. So subconsciously, some of those things he saw while growing up might begin to reflect in his own parenting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you are married to a man that grew up in a very big family, grow up in having to see plenty parenting style around them, you have to sit down and you people will draft your own. You have to
Mm.
draft your own, and you are consciously working towards it and working it out. It's a process. It's not a process of perfection that it must be perfect. You are
Mm.
constantly working it out. You understand?
Mm.
But if you are now married to someone, a spouse that grew up in a just mommy and daddy and children, their parenting style is going to take after mommy and daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they are going to do is just make adjustments to what they didn't know, what they didn't like, maybe while
Yeah.
growing up. They just make adjustment, but there's high tendency that they are going to take after their parent. So you are going to come together and choose the best pattern, the best way to parent your children. You understand? So there are some parents that are extremely over pampering their children,
Mm.
especially for the male gender. Why? Because maybe they have lacked those pampering, or they felt that this is the best way to show the children that they love them. And this begin to bring conflict in the home. So a father's touch should not be a touch that will be raising children that will just lose it when it comes to character or behavior or social activities, that will lose it when it comes to independence and saving. No, we are looking at a balanced style of parenting, that you don't
Mm.
do it to the extreme, you don't go overboard trying to please a
Anyone.
man.
Yeah.
You don't try to say, it's my child, I will give her whatever she wants. He's my son, I will give him. No, you ensure that you balance it. There are sometimes you have to set rules. There are sometimes you have to flout the rules. There are sometimes you just have to let them be. There are sometimes you have to ignore some of their behavior. There are sometimes you have to be uptight. So it must be balanced. However, a father's touch should not always be that the father will just be a figure that nobody can access. Or it is when it
Mm.
comes to let us flog the children that the father will show up, masquerade, where is the bed? Where is the no. You should be able to,
And that's what happens in a lot of houses.
yes, you should be able to shift between being a loving father and being a father that disciplines the child correctly.
Mm.
Remember, disciplines, they are abuse on itself. When you now have to flog the child, bruises, and also make sure that you are not emotionally destroying the child by saying words that are too harsh to the child. So
Do
a
you
father,
believe? Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
I'm,
Do you
I'm
believe
pretty,
in child? Okay, I'm listening. Sorry, I will
I'm
ask. Okay.
No, I'm true.
Okay. Do you believe a child should be caned? It's
For
not
me,
abuse too.
now let me break it down. For me, personally, I don't believe a child should be caned, but I believe that a child should have a cane in the home.
Ah.
Do you get it?
Okay.
Yes. When you talk about setting rules, when you set rules, there's always a consequence.
Hmm.
And your consequence should be realistic.
Hmm.
You understand? So if you say, like I have a toddler now, that you can give her instructions sometimes. She might not want to do it. But if you just bring the cane from wherever you hide it, you just bring it like
You
that. Before you
behave.
say, she has run away to do what you said she do. And sometimes when she will be crying, somebody might be thinking that maybe you beat her, you flog her. Just let her see it sometimes. She will know that this thing, it can do damage to me. Do you understand? But funny enough is that sometimes you don't even need to use it because it will be the last resort. And I
Listen.
always tell parents that are used to flogging their children that
Welcome.
you start little by little. If I'm coaching parents that are used to shouting, beating their children, I always say that you start little by little. I cannot say you have to stop it today. It will not work like that. That's not coaching. That's therapy. You have to start from, okay, you used to flog them every day. Okay, now let's say once in a week, or let's say twice in a week. You now reduce it. Okay, don't flog today. Let's see how it goes. Don't shout today. Let's see how it goes. It is not about the prompt or the challenge. It's about your understanding of
True.
how to discipline my child effectively. And when I used to do course for parenting, I used to tell them that funny enough, it's not every child that can be corrected by flogging. So you must also
Actually.
understand your child. There are children that do well with just talking. Oh, my daughter, just talk. Let her do something wrong. You just begin to talk. I did not like what you did. You did this, and I don't like it. She'll go and sit in one place. Keep quiet. Anything you ask her to do that day, she will do it perfectly. But if you decide to flog her, when you are done, she will still go back to what you flogged her for. So you must understand your child and know what will work for them. All children will not take the same discipline pattern. There are some
Hmm.
they will not even want you to talk to them. You talk to them, you have spoiled everything. There are some they don't want to even see cane. They will not even want to see it. So for me, I always advise that when it comes to flogging a child, you must know the level at which you should get to. When you be like, and you now flog the child, there is bruises, there is injury, you are still flogging. Hello, are you a wizard? Are you a witch?
That one is extreme.
So that is abuse.
That's abuse.
Abuse. See, when you are a passionate parent, don't forget that being passionate should not exclude empathy. Be empathetic.
Hmm.
I
Empathy.
don't that my child. I don't want my child to go astray. I don't want my child to turn to bad boy. I don't want my child to turn to. See,
Empathy.
you must apply this level of empathy. Put yourself in their shoe.
Hmm.
If I'm the one that they flog like this, how will I feel?
Hmm.
Until you get to that stage. And sometimes, some of us, it's like we used to forget that in my tribe there is a parable that said, this body that I use to perform the function of a child is this same body that I will use to dagba. Abi, is this same
Mhm.
body that I will use to become auntie, that I will
Yeah.
use to become grandma. Everything is in my brain. So some of us forget that that child you are flogging, there is
Hmm.
an adult in that child,
Hmm.
and everything is in this brain. So they will not forget those bruises. Hello, they won't forget those bruises. They will not forget those pain. They will not forget those scar. Do you see where trauma comes in? When we
I feel you now.
trauma, childhood trauma, it is those things that has happened that have gone to their brain to settle down. Then something happens, it triggers it, and they remember, they feel sad.
And they now go, like for the introverted ones, they just go depressed, they don't talk to anybody, they are suicidal, they believe they don't have anybody to love them. I want to ask you a question about inner child healing. Because I feel like, okay, nearly almost everybody has been abused by everything you say.
Yes, oh, yes.
Nearly
Yes.
almost everybody has been abused. So now, there's this inner. When I got to know about inner child work, was in my university. So I just figured that I was always sad for no reason. There's just this hair of sadness. No reason. You just get sad. And then I'm like, why does this happen to me? It's like and it's not period cramp or anything. It was just like the what's it called? The default setting in my head. Sadness. So of course, and thank God I'm a spiritual person, but not everybody has that spiritual access, or that can do that. So that's why I want to talk about that. So I was praying, and then I'm like, but what's really going on with me? I need you to change this. Then I was sleeping, and then I just saw a picture of my childhood flash back to me, and it was a very, very. If I can't say it on live, it was really terrible. It was terrible. So it was after that time I figured that that thing now made me. It created this subconscious thing that nobody wants me, nobody wants me, nobody wants me, nobody loves me, nobody can love me though. So if even somebody comes and is all loving, I feel like the person will soon go. Like it's just there. It's just there. So I had to do a personal inner child work by firstly loving myself and giving myself the attention that I felt like I lacked. So what can you say about inner? And for me, that's my own. I feel other kids might have different ones. Some are the rape, the emotional neglect, some are the physical neglect. What can be done when you're an adult and you know that you these patterns are repeating in your life, but you need to do your inner child work? What can you do?
Okay. As a therapist, I will recommend. You have already explained what the inner child trauma is and pain. Now, I want to make you to understand something. That sometimes you are sad about all those things that happen because you feel a vacuum in you.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
that vacuum that is longing for. And sometimes, like, there's this part that I always love to point to is that the childhood emotion were bottled up. They were not allowed to be expressed
Mm-hmm.
because there were roles that were suppressing those childhood emotions.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
for example, now, like me then, when I was growing up, I have to literally, I don't have friends that I will go and play with.
Hmm.
Why? Why would I even talk about having friends? Because when I go out to play, before I even get to the playing ground, I'm already called back.
Wow.
So while my mates are behaving like a child, I'm behaving like an adult
An
inside.
adult already.
Do you understand? So in that situation, those emotions that you could not let out, you remember children have high energy. Those
Mm.
energy that you could not let out as a child, those exploration that you could not do, they are the bottled up emotion that is looking for a way to go out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you are not an adult. You cannot now go outside to play under the rain.
Ah, no, no.
And where only part. Their emotions are bottled up. You
Hmm.
cannot be able to use tire now to play on the streets.
Of course not.
Their emotions are bottled up. Then you will now begin to wonder that all these things I did not do it. I did not play this type of play. They are not coming. They might not come verbally the way I'm saying it, but their emotion, they are just the chemistry just doing like buru buru inside
Just,
your.
yeah. And then you
Yes.
have low moods and everything.
So what you do is this: is that you must learn to forgive them.
Hmm.
You
You
have to
forgive
forgive.
even your parents or the people, who are the who.
You are to forgive whosoever deprived you of those childhood experiences that you would have loved to have and gave you something else. Either they abused you or any other thing. You have to forgive them.
Okay.
And that forgiveness, you have to get it through the spiritual. Like you have to ask God to go in and purge you.
Mm.
You have to, because you cannot do it on your own.
No.
You are praying that God should give you the grace, the mind to forgive them. Then you begin to speak to yourself. I am not those things that happened to me. That is
Mm.
healing. You now begin to give yourself affirmations. You
Mm.
now begin to speak affirmations to yourself. I'm not those things. You know what they were. Then you begin to seek knowledge.
Mm.
That is why going for therapy is important. Seeking knowledge, getting options. So if you know that, for example, you are able to decipher that, okay, it was because I did not exert those energies I had when I was younger that is making me this unhappy. You can join a children club to be their facilitator, because in the midst of facilitating children in children club, you are also playing.
Yeah, that helped me actually. It helped me when I was in Kogi as a class assistant class teacher. So my class teacher became ill, so she couldn't. So I had to take over from her, and I had this bunch of kids, and we grew to love each other so much that even after they graduated, they couldn't leave me, and I think it was really so that was healing. Wow,
Yes.
it
So
helped.
as you play those energy out, you are emptying yourself of those bottled up emotion. So those energy
Wow.
of childhood energy is very massive. It can only drop down from 5 years old. That's why you see a child before 5 years, they can play for Africa, they will not get tired. So
Mm.
it's normal. So you have to play it out even as an adult. You see some people saying some adults they are party, they are this. I will just gloss over it because it is an expression that could not find, it is an emotion that could not find expression at childhood that is finding expression now. You see some
Yeah.
adults play overboard. You know how I play like this.
What's this? Why are you all over the place? You're overdoing
Just
it.
yeah, just leave them because they are trying to get out some things that are holding them
Ah.
back, so you can play it out. Now, going back to this another stage of healing is that you have to come to a self-realization in order to diagnose the defect in them. It's
Hmm.
very, I will try and break it down. This is one of the points I have in my book for healing, the journey to healing, is that for you to actually heal thoroughly, you have to realize that, hello, get this point, please. You have to realize that nobody can give what they don't have. Remember, I've been hammering on generational trauma since.
Trauma. Yes.
Remember that your parent or whosoever made you to go through this childhood trauma, either as a male child or as a female child, they did not know better.
Hmm.
They could not give you what they did not know. They cannot parent you the way they were not parented.
No
So they
clue.
are literally recreating what they already have. It's a reproduction. They
Yeah.
cannot produce what they don't have. So naturally, when you are even healing, it is even wise that they heal along with you because they too need healing. They became like that and did the parenting journey like that because they too were parented like that. So apparently, if they had known better, they would have given you better.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
comes to maybe they deprived you of physical material provision, you also need to know that if they have had money, they have had all the good things of life, they would have given it to you. They
True.
would have provided it for you. If it was enough, they would have provided it for you. If the economy was friendly, they would have afforded to buy you a Ferrari at the age of 16. So you have to realize that they did not have those things in their asset, in their bank. They did not
Yeah.
have those assets in their corner. They did not have access to those things that you wanted. So it becomes very important for you to know. You are diagnosing them now that, oh, my mommy could not do this, could not love me, could not say this to me because she too, she did not even know.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So when you are able to state that and bring that out, you begin to seek for knowledge. You begin to want to change the narrative that the way I was treated, I will not like to treat others like that. I will not treat children like that. It will shock you that maybe in my household, I'm the only different person.
Hmm.
In my household, I'm the only different person. And when I stay with my siblings or my parents, people will be asking me, like, are you part of this family? When I lost my dad, people were asking me, am I part of the family?
Why?
Because I'm different in everything. The way
Hmm.
I react to things is different because I've been able to heal. What
Hmm.
what will trigger people will not trigger me. The
Hmm.
incident that they will expect that I'm going to shout, I'm going to cry about, I will just take it as normal. Do you know
Hmm.
why? I now know better that you cannot. I have a box for everybody. I have a
Hmm.
box. So sometimes before they do something, I'll say, this is what this person will do. I'll bust them inside it. So when they do it, I'll just, it's normal. Because I know your capability when it comes to emotion. I'll be able to boss you that, oh, this one, when you tell this person,
It's
it's going to shout.
compartmentalization.
Yes, I've compiled it. Boom. So, oh, this one is going to shout. Oh, this one is going to cry. I just know. So when they do it, I'm just like, "Oh, it's normal." Do you
Hmm.
understand? So there's nothing that will just come and I'll be like, oh, I've not seen this one before. Yes, it is a way to your healing. And sometimes when you want to heal from childhood experiences that were unpleasant, you have to also decide. Are you going to do no going contact? That is, you don't want to even see these people, be in the same space with them, have to engage in a conversation with them that will trigger some things. You understand? You have to know. Because if you don't know what will work for you, you might still be in that web and keep on hurting yourself.
Yeah, and hurting your children because sometimes parents are actually jealous of their children. I've have seen it before where a mother feels like I'm giving you, the life I could not afford to have. So because of that, it's going to trigger hatred in me for you.
Like seriously.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
where I would have felt normal situation, I would have felt that giving you a life that I did not get is supposed to make me happy.
No,
Do you
I think
understand?
it's just now feeling like, okay, now that I'm giving you this life I could not afford, I am over demanding from you that you should pay me back.
Oh, okay, okay. Yes, it happens. It happens. Yes, that one is natural because the expectation is that I didn't get all of these things that you are getting, and I turn out fine. And I still
Yeah.
give to my parents. I still support them because the society has made it a compulsory thing that I must give to my parents. I must support my parents at old age. So now I'm giving you everything, the
Mm-hmm.
emotional provision, the
Yeah.
physical provision, material provision. You are still misbehaving
I
because
feel okay.
they they did not understand that a child will always be a child. It
Hmm.
is not the lack of provision or the presence of provision that will make a child to now start behaving like an adult or
Hmm.
to have the maturity that an adult should have.
We
Do you
have.
understand? So I'm a child, I'm a child. You give me heaven and earth, I'm still a child. You don't give me
Mhm.
heaven and earth, I'm still a child. In fact, some of us, when we are going through those things that we went through as a child, we could only think about it when we go out to play with our mates. But when we are
Mhm.
in our, we don't think about it.
At
Because we see,
all.
isn't it? But when we
Yes.
now go out to play with our mates, we are not seeing something that is making us to compare.
Like
Ah, your mom
it's
bought you this fine
different.
food. Oh, my mommy will give me slippers. Oh, you mean your mommy bought you this fine gown for Christmas? Oh, my mommy gave me that Ankara to sew one style. Do you get it? So it
Yeah.
means that there is nobody for you to compare yourself with. You will not even know if your parent is doing well or doing fine. That's
Mm.
You will see some children say, I hurt my hand, my mommy helped me to bandage it. And I will say, oh, you are lucky. Your mommy is always at home. My mommy is traveling, she does
Never
not.
at home. Yeah.
But when the child will be at home, you will not know that he is deficient
You won't know. No, you won't know.
until he goes to meet somebody else that have all of those things.
Mm. True.
However, as at that, there is no family that is void of challenges. Every child has their own. Do you know that there are children that are also crying, Mom, give me space. Dad, give me space. That is another issue. When
Yes.
parents now want to involve in everything about their children, they are now interested about everything, all in the name of I want to bond with my child.
Hmm.
See, even though those your children, sometimes they need a me time. They want to be
Yeah.
left alone. They want to meditate. They just want to explore with their mind. They don't
Yeah.
always also have you in the picture because you are providing emotional care and attention. So
Hmm.
we always try to balance things.
Hmm. Oh my God, this is so powerful. Parenting is a calling. You can't do it. You can't just do it. It's
So you
different.
have to see when it comes to parenting, you have to just prepare, plan, instead of plan early, start planning. That's what I
Pray.
love doing. Yes, you have to, the spiritual aspect comes in. That's where I'm going to. That praying to get healing. That
Hmm.
praying to get healing. You also have to pray to get healing. You also
Hmm.
have to pray to get healing. And there are stages in this healing. It will not just happen one day. Healing from childhood trauma is a process. It's
Hmm.
not it's a process, a very intentional process. And then you will get to a junction that you think that you have healed, that you just see yourself, you just regress. You go
Yeah.
begin again. You start all over again. And
Yeah.
sometimes what I always tell people is that if you know that going back to meet whosoever hurt you when you were younger is going to trigger things, try and reduce
Stay
your contact.
away. Yeah.
Try and reduce your contact with them. You know, there are some female, I've had a female client that said she and her mother cannot stay in one roof in 5 seconds. Something must happen.
Something must go wrong.
Yes, something must go wrong. So for that particular client, the best way for her to handle it is to do more of calls than physical contact. You
Hmm.
understand? Is to do more of phone calls. Ah, mommy, how you doing? And I've seen male children that their mother or their father are dealt with that even before they get to 16, they have packed out of the house.
Hmm.
Because you cannot go to daddy and say, Daddy, I want to go out, I need money for transport. Say, are you not a man? Why are you asking
Hmm.
me for transport? Mommy give money, say, I don't have. Oh, you see some, you graduated from school, they're like, you have graduated, I will still be giving you money. No, I can't do that. You
Hmm.
understand? They end up pushing that child out. And when that child get out, they find it difficult to always want to come back. Because when they needed you, you weren't there. Is it now that they don't need you that you'll not be like,
Now
oh,
you
come
be
back?
there. Hmm. Thank you.
You pray about it. You pray about it and also get spiritual healing.
Thank you. Let me quickly read what Mubolaji wrote. He said, parenting is one of the toughest jobs on earth. You can't quit, and you have to learn to adapt to each of the children. May God
Yes,
help all of us to be great parents when we get there.
yes. And
Ah,
I love that fast, that word that he brought us, that you have to adapt
that
each of the
the
children.
children.
That is where some of our parents miss it. This child, the personality of this child is introverted. This child is phlegmatic. This other child is extrovert, and you want to parent them the same way.
Same way.
You have just destroyed life of some. Because if you
Hmm.
are parenting all of them to be an extrovert and some of them are introverted, that's to say problem has come.
Hmm. Oh my God. God needs to help us in this. We can't do it alone. Oh God. Okay, so before we go ahead to the last point, I want you to tell people, I want to tell people, and I want you to also tell people that they can contact you at, just tell them your handles. What do you do? Do you do one-on-one counseling? Do you do group counseling? Do you just let us know? And so I'll
Okay.
put your link to in the YouTube video for people that want to get to know you.
Okay, you can contact me as Living Waters Counseling International. The international is the short form INT apostrophe L. So that's
Mm.
my handle. You can also contact me on my personal page. That handle is my company's page. So my personal handle is Counselor Fresh. Just like that, no underscore, just Counselor Fresh. You can also
Counselor
simply,
Fresh.
yeah. I do one-on-one counseling. I coach parents on parenting children of different personality type, be that the child is having Down syndrome, special needs, any type of care, special need care or anything. I don't want to start mentioning name, but if you are a special need parent, you will know what I'm talking about.
Mm.
That is having autism, any learning disabilities like dysgraphia and others. I handle such cases. I do one-on-one therapy for all forms, relationship, marriage, education, just name it, and all, mental health, every aspect. We also do educational counseling. We go to schools, talk to students, preteens, teenagers, smaller toddlers. When it comes to handling their behavior, we do a whole lot of that. We also train teachers. We do seminars for teachers, we do seminars for school owners, proprietors, because that sector is a very massive sector. We go into curriculum refurbishing. You want to change your school curriculum, you want to work on it. You also want to structure emotional intelligence into your school curriculum. We
Mm-hmm.
do that a lot because that is one skill that we don't always talk about in school, and is not good because in this recent world we are now,
Yeah.
people even employ people that fail woefully in academics but are good in emotional intelligence. So we also look into how to fashion it into the school syllabus and raise children, teenagers, adults, youths that will become a better emotional masters of their own emotion. We look into a lot of things. I have other handles for nutrition, body image, coaching, and all of those things, which I do a lot and on under the background. But you can always contact me. If you click on any of on our link on the Living Waters, you get where you see book personal therapy. So anything you want to book, you can always book under that place. That's what I do.
Thank you. Do you do premarital counseling?
I do relationship, everything. We do it all.
Okay.
You can
Or
even
what
choose if
about
you want a female or you want a male. So we have both hands. So if you don't like my face, you don't want a female, we have male.
okay, so it's not you're just the founder of the
Yeah,
company. You
and
have other counselors under you, which
yes,
is
yes.
really fun. I love it because some people wouldn't. I remember the time I wanted to go for therapy. My friend was a male, and then he kept telling me, "I don't have to be a therapist. I'm just introducing you to therapy. You don't have to be under me." In fact, as a matter of fact, she said part of the rules is you should not counsel anybody
People
you
are
know.
so familiar with, yes.
Yeah. So, but for me, I was so stubborn. I was just so stubborn, and I was so free with him because I felt no, I can't start all over again with another person. We are going to do this as professionally as possible, but we are going to do it with you. And we handled it professionally. So, but that he was really courteous. He was extremely courteous. He was extremely courteous. He showed no emotion on his face throughout. I'm like, gosh, this
It
is
works.
so professional.
It works.
God, he was so professional. That
Yeah.
was
Sometimes you are on a therapy, people are crying. You just have to. Sometimes I even feel that we are even worse than a doctor.
he was so like no so blank, no emotion, nothing, no happiness, no
There was,
joy, no
there was
sadness,
a
nothing.
case. There was a case I handled. When I got home, I think I broke down. That case was about a child that was being abused by
Mm.
it was his father. So he told his teacher, and the teacher was trying to say, okay, this is what you can do, but it was not successful anyway. At the long run, the father kept abusing the child, and the teacher joined in.
Oh my God.
So it was not rape is at home, rape in school.
A male or a female?
A female.
Oh my God. Oh
And
my
for
God.
the male child, for every male child that have been abused, one of the reasons why they don't speak up as regular as the female do, which I feel is also the structure of the culture and the masculinity issue that we have, is that we make them feel that, oh, if they really rape you, how come you erected? How come you have an ejaculation? Yes,
Hmm.
within them themselves, they are questioning themselves. They are even guilty. They are feeling guilty that if this thing was actually real, why did I feel as if my body could not resist it? My body just gave in. I just want to
Yeah.
tell you, if you have ever experienced such thing, I want to make you understand that you don't have control over your physiological makeup.
Hmm.
Do you understand? It's just like you saying that pepper enter your eye, you will not cry.
Hmm.
You will cry. If pepper should enter your eye, you will cry. It's not, you don't have control over tears not to come out.
Hmm.
I don't want to use the terms for it. You understand? You don't have tears over, you don't have control over tears not to come out from your eyes. That's
Hmm.
how it is for your erection.
Hmm.
Man, the way man is crafted is that when you see something that triggers those areas of your body, they come alive.
So it's just a
That's
natural.
Yes, it comes
Yeah.
alive. So it's not like, oh, if they trigger it, I will hold it, it will not come. Even a woman, when she sees something that trigger it, it comes alive. But do you know the difference? A woman's own is inside, it is covered, but a man's own is not covered. So you
Hmm.
see it openly, you see it coming up, but a woman's own is already covered. So that's why you feel as if women have more power to control than men. Because what we call control for the men is that
For the
they could not control
females.
themselves. Shebi the thing, he didn't understand. Whereas, whereas that is not even it. A control for a man is not what stand. Is your ability not to penetrate if it is in a situation of not abuse. But if it is an abuse, once it stand, the woman can take the lead. So you don't
Hmm.
guilty that oh it stand, it
Well,
stood.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't
It's
feel
not
guilty
truthful.
about it. And if you need help, seek help. Don't let anybody coward you into your own self-depreciation or emotional depreciation. Somebody will tell you, when you speak out now, they will say you are a fool, you are a coward, this and don't let anybody bully your emotion into accepting what you are not wrong about. So you must be willing to seek help. And also don't cultivate the habit of saying I want to pay back because that's what have landed us in all of these things.
Hmm.
You see
Hmm.
a child that was raped by a female, maybe an adult female,
Yeah.
they begin to grow appetite for wanting to sleep with adult female all their life. Some of
Yeah.
them are very good at what is it called? Baby,
Gigolo.
is it mama baby? I what they
Okay,
call it.
maybe mama. No
Ehen.
commitment, but you give birth for them.
No, no. This one that and a younger
Sugar
boy,
mommy.
sugar mommy, they now glue to sugar mommy. Hello. I tried, if you notice, I tried to drag the conversation back to the main child
Yeah.
because we focus on them.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what is making them going to the sugar mommy? It's not because they actually wanted to,
Hmm.
because the way their senses is reacting because that was how they started.
Okay. So
Body
they are
react to how they started. They did not start with somebody that have low experience. They started with somebody that is a pro in experience. So they will find it hard to cope with somebody that does not have experience. Or
mm,
all the boboyo in bed, they need somebody that have all of those things. So there is that tendency that when they see a younger girl that is just maybe paraventure, a youth that does not have all of those things that they used to start, they are not going to feel as if they are enjoying anything.
that's
what is
serious.
now what is now drawing them is like that Scohan, this thing that we talk about, the syndrome that we
Yeah.
talked about. They want to go back to the same person that traumatized them. However, in the absence of that person, they now look for a figure that fits in into that person.
That person.
That's
That's
where that mama comes in, that sugar mommy comes in. You understand? I want you to know that it is not your fault that it started that way. You have to train yourself into realizing that you cannot be eating what is extremely too big for you.
Mm.
You understand? You cannot continue with a body of that nature. See, the way naturally God created a man is that man have a lot of responsibility on his shoulder. You
Mm.
understand? And he needs somebody that is a little bit younger than him
Mm.
or of the same age that will have some energy to help him cope. Do you understand? But when you go and start hanging around with people that are far older than you are meeting people that will make you feel like a baby. You will not now become responsive and you will not grow up.
Mm. Mm.
See people that are still functioning as your mother because
Mhm.
they are going to pamper you.
Mhm.
Definitely going to give you whatever you want. So
Mm.
you are not meeting people that is going to train you to be a man. But when you are dating a woman that is the same age range with you, there is expectancy. They are expecting from you. They are
Mm.
trying to make you man up. They are trying to make you do things within your age limit, the way you are supposed to do things. So
Mm.
they are functioning you, they are shaping you to fit in into a better man
Mm.
in the future. But when you are going to meet Arugbo, somebody that is very old, you are going to find it hard to want to structure your future. And even when that future is standing, when you have the money to do all of those things, you will see a drawback every time you need help.
Mm.
You always be looking for people. You always want to be pushing blame. You always want to cry out for help always when the need is not even there.
Mm.
I've seen people
Mm.
that treat themselves when they are sick. They are looking for who to send them money as a man, married man. I've
Ah.
seen people that, yes, because they have always been in that receiving side.
Wow. True. They don't give. They're not used to giving.
They are used to people giving them, you understand? So they don't see anything wrong with asking, you understand? So also, apart from that abuse, what it has made of you is that it also affects the way you see life in general.
Mm.
It affects the way you see life in general and your sexuality also.
Mm.
And it also come with overtly being used. Hello,
Mm.
I have to say this. If you are going out with somebody that is far older than you, especially women, once they get to 40, 50, their sexual demand become very, very high.
Yeah. Yeah.
35, 35 and above, their sexual demand become very high. And for men, it begin to drop as at that time.
I heard. Oh. Hmm.
Say you heard it. It begins to drop as at that time. Now, this is what you just end up doing. I know why I'm emphasizing on this
Mm.
because in Africa it's very common. This is what will happen as at that time. When you are giving your best energy to somebody that is wanting more, you are giving more energy to that person.
Mm.
When you get to that place that is just supposed to be functioning averagely,
Mm.
sometimes erection will now become problem.
Really?
Because you have given not only your best energy but more of it to somebody that was demanding you,
Um,
somebody that was
and the guy
demanding
is
you.
young,
Do you
and
get
he
it?
still has a long way to go.
Yes, you will still give birth. It's just that there are things that will set in before the
Mm.
guy is 50. There are things that will set in that is going to affect his sexual abilities and sexual performance and a whole lot of sexual issues. You understand? Those are
Yeah.
what we just put in. But apart from that, I don't think there's apart from mental issue anyway, some of them might the what I said before, they might be so fixated at people that are far older than them and all of those things.
Mm. Mm. So it needs a retraining of mind. That's a long. That one is therapy on its own.
It's a therapy on it's just like if you are a male child that was abused as a child, you need therapy. And there are some that were gang rape. But if
Hmm.
you are a male child that was abused as an adult male, you need therapy, but it's not that tedious as someone that was
As
abused as a child.
the
Because
child.
being abused as a child, as a male child, when you were younger, it's not only going to affect your sexual life or all of those things, it's going to also expose you to deep things deeper things, that it will even get to a time you want to try funny things like we are
Hmm.
not saying. You want to, the exploration is massive, is huge. You know that the teenage stage of a child's life is filled with energy for exploration.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
if you now encounter abuse anytime within those age, so you want to try new things every day.
hmm.
You want to try new things every day. So the satisfaction is now based on trying new things. It's no longer
Wow.
on itself. It's not trying new things.
Hmm.
So you see some having unhealthy sexual patterns.
Mm-hmm. It happens a lot. Even after, peradventure, they find somebody young, they get married, their sexual
Unhealthy,
urges is
unhealthy
still not
sexual.
filled, or not
Yeah.
until they still have, this thing with these older women. Because I think it happens a lot in a lot of marriages. It's just older women that they go after, and then they are now emotionally unavailable to the one at home.
Yes. So it's important for them to heal. They need that healing anytime they feel that, oh, this is my struggle. I'm in this bottle, I'm in this compartment. I need to step out of it. Because why am I trying to bring out the health implication? Because if you don't know the health implication, you might not know the damage you are doing to yourself.
Yourself. Mm.
So if you know the health implication of what it will do to your health later on, you will know how to conserve your energy. I always tell men that used to complain that my wife is not good in bed, my wife is, I say, how old is she? And I say, wait, the time this woman will be pursuing you, you'll be running.
Mm.
You'll be running because the body of a woman and the hormone begin to react. They gather, it's like they are learning from experience, and
Mm.
e get to peak. And sometimes it usually get to all those peak because menopause is also doing its own work
It's
in the
knocking its door.
it's
Okay.
also doing its own work in the background.
Yeah.
So all of these emotions together will just be bringing new waves.
So you just advise those kind of men to wait for their wives to get older a little, so the sexual urges of the wives, match up with them.
No, 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 no. There are healthy diets that you can take if you want to boost
Okay.
sexual performance as a woman or as a man. There
Um.
are things you can do. Healthy, not all those voodoo one. Oh. Healthy, your eating habit.
Yeah.
Yes, snack and fruits that you can take that will really put you in the mood. There are. So sometimes all these topics they are intertwined. A
Yeah.
woman is not really keen because a woman is organized to be accessible to sexual approach. That's the
Mm.
organization. Like like when a man comes, especially when she loves the man, the way it is crafted is that she's already waiting. She's already
Mm-hmm.
expecting. But
Yeah.
when a woman now finds it hard to be receptive, to accept these advances, she too, she's suffering from trauma,
Wow.
abuse, an abuse that was so violent that made her to become scared of sex.
That's
So
deep.
the woman
That's
might also need to, it's not every woman that has been raped, that has experienced violence in the past, that will open up to their partner.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the woman too have to step up and go for therapy and heal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If she doesn't heal, especially when it is a very violent one, when it comes to sexual performance, sexual life, nothing. There's something I'm working on which I titled Sexual Confidence for Sexual Exploration and Performance. It's very important that you must know what can hinder your sexual confidence. And you see, I don't want to go too deep
Too
because
deep.
some people say this woman used to like all this kind of talk. The fact is, even the way your body is can even hinder you from even wanting to explore or
Wow.
even engage, because some people have a negative body image of themselves. So
Mm.
even because sexual activity, you are going to explore your body. So they feel so ashamed to allow their partner explore their body.
Mm.
That's why I love the fact that you talk about skincare and all of those things, the wholeness and all of it, because they work hand in hand.
Mm.
I'm
I
so
think
ashamed
I
of
need to come. I think I need to come for more training from you. Do you train? Do
I
you
do.
train people? Ah, we'll talk about it in camera. I like the reason why I'm saying it, but people come to me for things like this. And because I'm not so trained in this aspect, I just refer them. I
I
refer
train.
them
I
to you.
don't know what that means.
Can you train online? Because I can't come to Nigeria right now.
I do train
Okay.
online now. Most of my sessions are
Yes,
online.
yes, yeah. I gotta train. But people call, especially my male friends, even some of my female friends that are married. They
Bring
come
them.
like
Oh. We are looking. It's just that I'm trying not to diversify too much because of my parenting duty. You understand?
ah,
If not, I'll put all of them up online and all of those things. But I notice that since I still have toddlers and all of those things, they might, you understand?
class.
But I train. I have two people under me currently. One is even a PhD holder. Understand? So,
Um,
but you will work. I used to work people. If you want to come and train
we
that,
work now. She used to
I'll
work.
work.
Me, I'm a workaholic. Let's do
And
this.
when I say go and do this one, you not say I cannot. Because frankly, if you want to be a master in your field, you must master, you must crush it from the
Wow,
beginning. Go and get knowledge. So you cannot
wow,
just come.
that's a lot. Okay, noted.
The way your
Noted.
body, yes, the way your body is can even make you not to want to be going after or allowing people big idea. We don't talk enough about it. Yes, so sexuality, yes, is a very big idea. And frankly speaking, I tell people that I'm a woman with many bruises. And
Wow,
sometimes when people say you are very dynamic, you are this, this, I'll be like, you don't know where I'm coming from.
from.
If you know where I'm coming from, you will understand why I'm passionate about all of these things. And the questions I've been getting has made me to I'm currently begging a person that is close to me, a relative, that I want to bring out my childhood. Let's just say from the age of 0 to 14 years. Let me bring
Whoa.
my life, just only my childhood. I have segments of my lives. I have segments that can come as encyclopedias.
Hmm.
So in all of those stages and segments of my life, I learned different things. And you know what? Mental health is not something that is talked about like
It's
that.
not. It's not talked
Even
about
if you get
enough.
a therapist, you will find it hard. They will say it's demon that is worrying the person, it's demon, it's devil. So you understand? So when it comes to sexuality, libido, yes. What are you saying?
So
Urge
you
of
said
woman is
the
the
sexual urge of a woman is increasing and
yes.
the man's libido is reducing. What ways can one improve aside from exercise and diet?
The ways to improve is to meditate on it.
Eh?
Diet is important. Me, I told you just now that I have a head and the body image coaching.
Yeah.
Diet is very important. I can give you 100 recipe to boost your libido in a month and you will skyrocket. You understand?
Eh?
Yes, is important. Then when it comes to therapy, the mindset is your meditation. Remember the book of Joshua 1:8, it said, this book of the law,
Lord,
we meditate day and night. What does it mean? Whatsoever you meditate upon day and night, we gradually come into reality.
Hmm.
Happens to sex. If you meditate on it day and night, you see that the passion is dropping, the appetite is dropping. You begin to meditate on it. Do you understand? There are people that recommend porn, there are people that recommend M&B books and all of those things. See, you can even still watch those things. The fire will come and die after you are done with it. But
What
how do
about
you
Kayamata?
no, do you know the fact? Kayamata is good, but it's just that they now begin to add juju to
You
it.
do
You
to
understand?
it.
If not, it is good. It's just natural herbs that they are adding together. They blend, they extract the syrups and
Yeah.
all of those things. If you want to buy, like what I used to do for my client then, I used to buy it fresh and give them. They go and prepare it. I'll tell them how to prepare it. You understand? You buy it,
Okay.
you prepare it like that. But what they do with Kayamata is that they buy it, they prepare it. You understand? So in the process of preparing it, some of them answer to it. So this answer I have for this person is that you should meditate on it day and night. You should plan towards it. You should anticipate it. And if there is something in the body of your partner that is gradually pushing you away from them, you have to make sure that they work on it. Is it that they begin to have big tummy? Let them know. Both of you should work towards it. Is it that their mouth odor? Yes, a lot of people don't talk about this, and it's one of the
Oh
biggest
God,
issues we
I
face.
can't deal. I cannot personally cannot deal with that. I'm
So you
sorry.
have this partner that does not allow you to kiss them. Although for a male, some of those things are tendency for a narcissism. For
Eh,
a man that will not literally want to kiss the wife, he might be a narcissist.
narcissistic personality disorder.
Yes, because he does not want to be committed, he does not want to appear vulnerable, he doesn't want to make you feel emotional entanglement. He doesn't want to make sure that the emotion gets to that place that he is now vulnerable and you are now
Get
leading,
you.
or you understand? Because
Yeah.
at that point, the sensations that he gets or that both of you get is we are now one.
And it's not open for that.
And he's not ready to bond. He's not ready to get to that state that you will not be like, we are now age mate, because they are very sensitive about we are not on the same level. I'll beat you now. You understand?
Ah,
So those are those signs of. However, a person might reject not to actually have a mouth-to-mouth encounter with the partner because it smells, it stinks, it's rotten. So you must take care of your dental health. Make sure that you are doing what you need to do as a man to take care of your dental health. All those story, oh God, all those story of if a man enter the bathroom 5 minutes he don't come out, he don ready. Sorry, I have to speak pidgin here because the thing is provoking me. A man is not supposed to enter the bathroom and come out in 5 minutes. Do you know why most of them are coming out in 5 minutes? Because they don't even know how to bathe themselves.
oh my God.
Parenting. Some mothers did not teach their male children how to bathe, but they taught their female children how to bathe, how to watch their private part. They did not teach their male. And I tell you, 98% of the male in this world right now learns how to bathe, watch their private part by going online to search for it or looking for YouTube video to learn how to do it. And some, maybe today is the first time they are hearing it for the first time, that you
Really?
have to watch yourself as a male child.
Hi.
You have to wash it. Do you know the things that you have there that you will not now wash it properly? You need to clean yourself properly.
Ah,
If I have I will describe it for you, but some people used to say I should not be doing it on live video. I will
why?
describe it for you. No, some people used to feel very funny,
Like
like
it's yeah, it's like I
see, you raised it, you wash round it, wash round it, gongo.
don't know. You wash your armpit.
Let me
Wash.
start there.
Thank you.
Wash it.
I
Sparkle,
I personally
sparkle,
cannot deal with mouth.
wash
Mouth
it
odor
with
is a
sponge
no
and
no for
soap.
me.
Sponge and soap. Then when it comes to when you want to shave or all those kind of things, let me not be making them so obvious. You make sure that you do it very well. You want to apply cream must reach that area. Don't let it be now you are fair, all those places are black. They will not be
No,
asking, they are not sandpapering. It is
right?
well with you. If you come for my personal therapy session, I will give you the download. But this is a live program. I
Yes,
don't
they should come. Please come and register. Register for therapy. It's not. Therapy doesn't necessarily mean that you are sick. You know, I
That's
think
it.
everybody
That's
needs
what people
therapy.
don't know. It might be that you need to know something that you don't even know about yourself, about
Exactly.
the way of doing things.
Exactly.
So I think we have trashed the healing of the
Yes,
inner child.
we've
Then we
we've touched everything,
have
but last one is abuse in relationships. You know, I think because the reason I said I put it is because a lot of males are actually going through a lot, but they don't. Guys don't talk. They
yeah,
don't
there's
talk.
no, because we say men are not talkers. Why are you talking like a woman? So they will not talk.
Uh-huh. Why are you doing like a woman? You talk too much. How you can talk? You know. So what can you
Uh,
do? Because I just want you to. I remember we're having that discussion when you were telling me on WhatsApp that you have cases that the men are actually struggling because, for example, my housemate told me that she's from Jehovah's Witness, and Jehovah's Witness you are not allowed to divorce.
mm,
You're
I'm
not.
Western.
You're not allowed to. So because of that, she said the women who know that there is a rule they're not allowed to divorce, so they now misbehave. They just do anything. They just do
Oh,
anything they want to do because they know you're going nowhere. You're bound by the rule. So what can you say, with respect to that? How can a man or a male that is going through abuse in his relationship, how can he just talk briefly on it? If anybody needs therapy, we'll put your link down and then we hope they get through.
okay. For a male child that is going through a married man that is going through abuse in marriage or relationship, is a two different ball game. In a relationship, is relationship. Don't let me be speaking too much of Yoruba in this live video because I know that people all over the world will be watching. So I'm trying to contain my Yoruba bangang. Now, is relationship or is not marriage. Please take a walk.
If it's relationship, just leave it,
Take
Abby.
a walk.
Just leave.
Just take a walk. Abuse is abuse. Like it is an abuse. I don't know how to explain this. Like, do I need to make you understand the magnitude of how precious and how wonderful you are, how unique and cute you are, how handsome you are to be going through such an issue in a relationship? Hey,
But how will you know? How will you know that it is abuse? Because some people don't even know that
it's
they have been abused.
see, there are different tactics of abuse in relationship. Okay, let me go this way, let me break it down. There are some that the woman takes the man for granted. He downplays your emotional needs. He only calls you when they need something. They would not want to,
Mm,
yes, they would not want to respect your personality. For example, you might say, I don't like it when a girl dress like this, and they continue to dress like that. They don't want to respect what your personality is saying. You might say, I don't like a girl that drinks. Please, can you stop drinking? They will not want to quit. Do you
mm,
understand? So you are already seeing sign of a woman that is going to abuse you emotionally. Because
mm,
you are saying, I don't like this, and the person is still doing it. That means he's trying to hurt you.
mm,
So anything that hurts you in a relationship, directly or indirectly, is hurting your ego as a man. That's one thing we did not talk about. A man has ego, and that ego is craving for respect, not even
mm,
love, respect.
mm,
So when a woman is constantly trying to puncture that ego with their behavior, is an emotional abuse.
mm,
In relationship, you can also test a woman to know if they are only interested in your money.
mm.
So they are get in short, it's very rampant now that a lot of girls are interested in what you can offer.
Of
So
course,
you
a
also
lot.
have to, that is an abuse on itself. It's piling up. Do you know why? Let me break it down. Because when you are married and situations or circumstances changes and you discover that you have not tried that woman, you are going to face a situation whereby the woman is going to bring character, attitude that is going to undermine your personality and your mental health.
Mm,
You hear stories these days, people saying, I did not have money again, she now started misbehaving, or I lost my job, she started misbehaving. Because naturally she was wired with the intention that you are the one to always provide, you are the one to always bring in the money. So her mindset is that when you are bringing the money, you are loved. When you are not bringing the money, you are rubbish. Hello, a woman that loves you will love you unconditionally. Whether you bring in or you did not bring in, the woman will stay. You understand? She is going to stand still and still love you the same. A woman
mm,
that is working and you are not working, she is still going to stick with you and still going to obey you. So you have to see all these signs during courtship. You don't need a woman that will be saying, only me bring bring. If you go out on a date with a woman and you are like, oh, for example, you can try a woman, your ATM, you brought it out, and the money is not enough and the woman is just like just flare up or something, you know that this one is wahala. Because naturally you are supposed to cover up for your man. I tell woman these things. I said, if the man is saying, I don't have cash, I want to use my ATM to pay, and is in a second date, and you have cash, you can pay.
Hmm. Really?
Yes, you can pay.
Hmm.
I don't have cash, I want to use POS. And maybe they are saying, okay, let me go and make the POS. You, how much is it? And you know you have that equal cash. You can pay for it.
Why? What does
When
that
we
say
do
to the
this,
guy?
what does that say to the guy?
Yeah.
You
What
just
will he get if it happens?
He's not that guy. You are not trying to please that guy. You are trying to make sure, you are trying to say that my foot is up. Like, I'm not sleeping. I'm not what's it called? A liability. I'm not
Hmm.
interested in the monetary matters of this relationship. I'm
Hmm.
interested about your personality. You are trying to tell the man that your money is not my intention of being in this relationship. You are trying to tell the man that I don't care. I don't give a hoot about your money. You
Hmm.
understand? You are trying to tell the man that I'm an independent woman, I can foot my bills if need be. You are trying to tell the man that I can help you on a rainy day if you need it.
Wow.
So
This is
it's not
very
about
nice.
money and money. No, I tell women, I said, you should cultivate the habit of giving in your relationship, because if you don't, in marriage, you will still struggle through it. So you
Mm-hmm.
learn from relationship, learn how to give. Learn how to give in your relationship. You are going to visit your fiance, you just pass all the Oju Elegba, pass all the Oshodi, pass Ojota, you are coming to GRA Ikeja, you now get there, nothing that you brought.
Hmm.
No, it doesn't say good of you, it doesn't say well of you. So
At
all
all.
these things that you have passed since, you did not see one thing that you can buy and say, hello dear, have this. Cultivate intentional giving habits. Let it be intentional, determined to do it. Because frankly speaking, a woman that finds it hard to give in relationship, in marriage, she will still find it hard to give. And if she give, maybe it's under pressure. She's not doing it from the whole of her heart.
The bottom of our heart that you make life miserable for
Now
you.
this is the signal. Now this is the signal. Because you are now a man and you have a girl that gives, does not mean you will just get up one day and say, help me to buy this one when you are coming. And mouth. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Because if you do that, if I am the one and anybody that I have coached on relationship, if a man tells you, help me to buy so something when you are coming, or give me so thousand naira because you have been doing it before,
Hmm.
it's a bad signal for me.
Hmm.
It- you know why it's a turn off? As a woman, I have the money and I have the power of that money in my hands. I decide what I use it to do. But when I did not do it from my own personal volition, you are
Hmm.
trying to make it compulsory. And you don't put me under compulsion as a woman to support you. I do it
Um,
on my own volition. I do it on my own. So
hmm.
it is you a woman, I see it as wrong. Even before you step into a relationship, you don't have enough financial literacy to handle relationship. I see it as a problem.
Hmm.
It's a problem for me. I see it as a problem that you are stepping into a relationship. You don't even have knowledge of how a man thinks. You are
Hmm.
a girl, you have not read this book. Think like a man and act
Act
like
like
a
a
woman.
lady, think like a man.
So you are just there wakari looking for marriageable man. Hello, you are just shooting yourself on because they don't reason the way you reason.
At
So
all.
because if they observe that you are doing this thing and you just do it, you find joy in doing it. Some of them that are spoiled brat from home, they want to actually, you understand, start pushing those things to you. Pushing it to you. Remember that there are some that have been over pampered at home. So when they see somebody else that look like their mother, ready to take all the responsibility, they are going to just give in
Responsibility.
to say,
Hmm.
do it. Do it. So it is important that you balance it. So if there's anything I should add in relationship, how you should live a relationship, and listen to signals of how the girl treats other male and female around her. See, love they say is blind though. See, marriage will open your eyes. Like this last song, we open it like this. Pay attention to how your girlfriend is treating the male around her. Pay attention about how the female talks about the father, the brothers. Pay attention about how she gives to her brothers and sisters, how everything that she does with people around her. Because now she's in the euphoria of that excitement of I am in love, I'm in love. When it drops down a little, the way she was treating others is the way she will treat you.
Yes. Yes.
So don't make
Yes.
that mistake. He's just treating others like I can't do it to me. Well, lie. That's the picture. That's how he is. That is his personality. So you better be asking yourself, can I cope with this behavior? So if you know that
Mm.
you cannot cope with this behavior, then you begin to tell yourself, no, no. There are women that beat their husband. There are also women that use words that are worse than beating on their husband. So you watch out for these signs and this signal. Also look at the career strength and passion of the woman. There are some, they are unable to balance career and relationship,
Mm.
or balance career and marriage. You are dating a girl, she's telling you she's in the office 9 p.m. doing what? And you are still saying I'm dating her, when I marry her I will tell her to change.
Ah.
Hey, I pity you. It's not gonna work. Will it work? That is her lifestyle. That is her lifestyle. When she get married, she will continue. So you are going to have to sit her down. Hello, why do you close late? Are you, is it your own business or is someone else? Can you change job? This is not healthy for you as a woman. Is she
That's
willing?
all.
If oh, it's my boss that is making me come late, can you talk to your boss for your own safety? Don't make it look
Mm.
as if it's for you. I'm talking to guys now. For your own safety, can you talk to your boss? And the person is saying, no, my boss. Just know that it's not that she cannot talk to her boss. She will overrule your authority when you marry just
Mm.
to please her boss,
Mm.
just achieve her career goals.
Goals.
So it is better for you not to put yourself forward. I used to give people tactics in relationship to really know who you want to marry. By the grace of God, this year will be the 6th year of my marriage. I courted my husband for 3 years.
Wow.
And
Congrats.
why? Maybe he will watch this video later. I put him on I like there was
You
even a point that
stressed him.
I was wondering if this guy will still stay after these bruises that I was giving him, because I know where I was coming from, so I just needed a person that I can say this is my friend, not just
Mm.
the husband. So
Mm.
you as a man, you need somebody that can say this is my friend, not just a title of a wife. Do you know
Mm.
what? If a man marries a woman, that he is his enemy, that woman is his own enemy, the man is completely finished.
Mm.
Completely finished. Because all your destiny that you have crafted, your purpose that you have designed, that one wrong mistake will just destroy everything.
Just go. Wow. Mm.
They that look as if they are sent from the pit of hell to destroy their husband. It's not that they are doing it intentionally. Some of them, they married you out of pity and because of what you can offer. Is it on bed or finances, or they just pity you and marry you? So you must know when a woman is trying to pity you and marry you.
Yeah.
It's deep. It's deep. I,
People.
it's deep. But maybe some of these days I will do a free coaching that I
Okay.
did one for me. That was like, is it February? But maybe
Oh, really?
sometime I did in February. February, yes, I did one for youths. But I will do
Wow.
it when I have time. I will try and do, because there are many things about mistakes that people make in relationship, especially for guys. Mistakes that they make in relationship, especially for guys. So we really need to dig deep. We need to look at a whole lot of things. A whole lot of things, because sometimes it will be absurd for a man to step out and go and meet the family of the woman and say your wife is maltreating me. Everybody will be like, eh?
Eh? You
Everybody
are you
will
not
be
the man
like,
of your house?
do you understand? So everybody expect that it should be the man, it should take or take charge. But it's not
Yes.
always so. There are families whereby the woman is leading. They cannot go to the backstage. They shut their
Mm-hmm.
husband up. The way the
Mm-hmm.
woman you. A woman that is, oh God, some women, they are there, they are intelligent, they are very, very, God will help us today. They are very, very intelligent. So they make the man feel as if he does not know anything.
Oh, manipulative
So
people.
it's not even manipulative. They don't manipulate the man. They are looking at the man from the position of he don't know any. This man does not even know anything. He's a dullard. Yes, there are women like that. They put the way they position themselves. If you want to know them, if you are in a social gathering, a man and a woman is talking, you are talking with them. Watch the conduct of the wife in intercepting what the husband want to say. Maybe the husband is saying something, say, honey, not be so.
That
Watch
kind of thing. I think I've seen people like that.
people like that always want to make sure that their husband does not speak or take decisions when they have to do something. Those type of women feel that they are more intelligent, they are more wise than the man. So
Mm.
they don't want the man to say or decide anything. So they are the one that always decide. In that type of situation, know that that man at home is going through bruises. You see when people say submission, submission. Actually, in recent, some men are the ones submitting to their wife in marriages. But yes, they are the ones having to bend down for their wife so that the marriage will just work. According to that Jehovah Witness stuff you were saying about
Yeah,
now. So for
yeah.
that type of marriage where everything has gone haywire, now going to marriage now has gone haywire, I will just beg that the man that is going through such should seek for therapy.
Mm.
Because we cannot trash that out here. Do you know why? It will require the man and the woman coming together separately. They will come for therapy separately because there are things that made the woman to start behaving like that.
Like
Naturally, every woman, especially the ones that are not arrogant, will want to actually make their husband happy. But when
mm.
they change from behaving as a good wife to something else, there would have been something along the line that triggered that
That's
behavior.
that behavior. Yeah.
It will also be that the woman also have a childhood trauma of what
Mm.
is the parent do, maybe the
Mm-hmm.
way the mother was treating the father. So the
Mm-hmm.
woman want a carryover of how the mother was treating the father and also treats the husband like
The
that.
husband like that. Yeah,
So
totally right.
so
100%. True.
we have to purge it, and it cannot be purged on one day live session. It has to
Yeah.
be out in a personal therapy and
Session. So that's what we're telling people now. Bolaji, I think we answered this question. He says, should men also bend to the demands of a woman?
should a man bend to the
Mm.
demand of a woman? I will not really say bend because if I'm saying you should bend to the demands of a woman, that's to say everything that the woman asks you should do.
Mm.
So that's I will not put it that way, but I would like to reframe it to say in a marriage or in a relationship, both man and woman should have a say.
Mm.
Do you understand? So it's not like one is bending to one or the other is bending to the other. You are bringing issues that are very,
Ideas.
you understand? You are bringing them to the table, and both of
Table.
you are weighing it. You are weighing the options. You are weighing it together, and you are able to merge and pick and see the one that is better as at that moment. Because if you want to bend to the demand of a woman, that means that is to say that every demand of the woman is right, and it's not always so.
No.
We our own self, within our own self, some demands that we make, we know that is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all the demands that a woman or a man makes that is actually right. So that's where the both of you have to come in the place of conversation and discuss, dialogue, dismantle the issue, dig deep into it, check the benefit and disadvantages before you say, okay, let's do it this way or let's not do it this way.
This
Then on
way.
the other hand, when it comes to bending, bending itself also can also mean a submission. You understand, in a way. So what I will say is that naturally the Bible has made us to understand that a woman have to submit to a man. However, I read there are some verses that are coming before that. There are some incidents that came before that place. But let's leave it at that. Now, I always tell people that a man should make submission easy for a woman. Should I say that again?
Mm.
A man should make
To make
submission
submission
easy for a
easy
woman.
for a woman.
So you
Mm.
know naturally that there are things that are very difficult. For example, you know your girlfriend, she like wearing woman hair of 1 million. Now you have married her, you are now saying she should come and submit and be wearing synthetic hair.
Hmm.
That nylon hair. You are not saying she should not wear human hair again
Ah.
because she need to submit to you. You don't want it. You want her to be threading her hair. You want her to thread colo. Now, that will not be fair.
Ah.
That will not be fair. You know why it will not be fair? It will not be fair because before you met her, you know what she was putting on. You know how she was dressing and how she liked to adore her hair. So
Mm-hmm.
if you decide to say, let her come and submit to your instruction of doing something contrary to what she has been doing before, you are not making submission easy for her.
At
You are making
all.
submission to look as if it's a punishment. You are making submission to look as if you want to send her to hellfire. You are making submission to look as if she want to lose her self-identity.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you should not view submission as things that will make her feel that this is impossible.
Hmm.
Are we together? So it's
Yeah.
now very important that you don't require of your spouse what you know they cannot do.
Hmm.
You understand? You know that they can do it. For example, now, if for example I'm a woman, I usually wear trousers all through. I don't have skirt, I don't have gown. I've never worn skirts before, I've never worn gown before. Then you now just come one day and say, don't wear trouser again. You know that would be very hard for me. Do
Ah.
you understand? But if I was a person that I wear skirts before, I wear gowns before, I wear trousers before, and you just want me to stop wearing only trousers, still carry on with my skirt, my gown, it is easier to adjust. You
Hmm.
understand? Because I already know how to wear gown, put on tops and match it and all of those. It will be a little bit easier. It is a submission that you require from me, it's an obedience, but it will not strain me that much, like just switching over
Straight up.
straight up. Do you understand? So that's what some of us, that's what we do. We just pick a woman that is opposite of what we want, and we now want to make her submit. In relationship, did you not see it?
Hmm.
So you pick a woman that is opposite of what you want. You bring the woman to say, come and do this thing. In relationship, did you not see all these things? So that's where we need to be watchful. We need to be very careful in relationship, not to choose what we don't want, all in the name of they are good in bed or they know how to speak fluent, eloquent English. Pay,
English, right?
pay attention to the main thing. The main
Hmm.
thing, what is going to happen in marriage. And sometimes even compatibility can be deceptive.
Hmm.
You say, we are compatible. See, pay attention to just be don't look at the way the person is relating with you. Just be look at how he's behaving to other people. I think that's your best bet. But if you are looking, they will just fake compatibility for you right now, especially some people that are desperate to get married. They will just
Hmm.
fake compatibility, will just fake it for you. You just go there, you're very compatible, you're very compatible.
Oh
Whereas,
my God.
whereas you are not at all. So I
Yeah.
think we have trashed that. We have trashed that.
We've actually tried everything. Everything we've tried. Thank you so much. This is wow. This is actually 302. Ah,
What?
I kind of knew we are going to spend close to 3 hours because they are really deep topics. And thank you so much. Yeah, this is a safe, and in fact, do you know that I'm so fulfilled that I was able to. I'm telling you that I was able to host 9 sessions about masculinity. I'm so fulfilled right now, and you are like you are the icing on the cake that made it. I'm telling you, like you just made everything complete. You sealed it. I'm sure like a lot of people need to really watch this episode. A lot of people need to watch to understand that it's not their fault. The way they behave, and it doesn't mean that the guy that is behaving that way is if he's open to change. Because some people, because this generation of social media, right? They say, okay, I want to see a red flag, go away. But one thing I ask is, if you see a red flag, if you approach the person, what if he's willing to talk about, or she is willing to change, to work on it.
Yes, that's a very, very important question. And I'm glad that you raised it because I think I skipped that part when I was answering the question before. When you see a red flag of a lady that will abuse you, in marriage, either emotionally or physically, please let the lady go for therapy. Please, I'm begging, let her go for therapy so that she will be able to know how to manage her emotions. So that because it's not her fault, definitely. She came from a place that made her feel that's how to handle issues. So let her go for therapy first. Don't say, I'm going to talk to her, I'm going to train her into changing. My battery is going down.
Oh
So
my God.
let her go for therapy. Oh, my system. Let me try.
But we've actually covered a lot. That's just like top, 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 top. Ah, this system was not die. Oh. Are you using laptop?
I was using phone.
Oh God.
I pray.
Um, I am also praying it comes on, but if not, we can actually end it here because I feel so fulfilled. Gosh, we finished it with trust. We actually trust. Hmm. We actually trust it. Okay, while we wait for Mrs. Precious, I want to read the list that we had while we were preparing for Let's Talk Masculinity. Oh my God, she has left. Hmm. She has really tried. Gosh, she tried for us. Gosh, I'm so proud of it. Ah, she said, "Don't let the battery go. This is good, man." I think the battery went off eventually, Bolaji, but I'll wait for her to come online. If not, we might end it anytime. She has been so. She's so loaded. She's so loaded, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I want to read. I want to read the list of things we had for masculinity before. The first is the masculine love languages, inner child healing, man as a father, a man's father, career expectations, peer pressure, the bossy man, man's psychology, man's wife, sexuality, also spirituality, marital pressures, empathy versus emotional intelligence, pressures of a teenage boy, childhood trauma, parental abuse, sexual abuse, man's beauty, heartbreak, societal expectations. Okay, so she's sending a request in. Societal expectations, are men really scum, gender bias, men don't talk, hard guy versus toxic masculinity versus being a nice guy. Are males and females really in a power tussle and cancel culture? So I just finished reading the list of everything we've covered in this whole thing before you came. Thank you for coming back. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Gosh, I don't know how to thank you. Like it's like you just poured it. You just made everything easy for me. These are the truths I wanted people to know. I mean, yeah, because I am not rushing this marriage thing because people, maybe because if you are married, when you talk, people actually want to listen more. But if you are single and you talk, they're like, what the experience do you have gone? What are you saying? So now that I have a married person on my life that is saying that the person is a professional, I'm so happy that they know. Okay. Are there any closing words you have for us?
Yes, yes, yes. I want to really appreciate you and the audience for
Thank
their rapt attention. So, for a male child, either you have been abused sexually, emotionally, you have suffered neglect, I want to make you understand that you have to forgive those that hurt you. Because in forgiving them lies your healing.
you.
In forgiving them lies your healing. So the first step is to forgive them and realize that they did not know too much. They were not perfect. They could not give what they don't have. So it's not that they had it and they said no, they will not give it to you. They too, they were traumatized. Remember what we said about generational trauma.
Trauma.
It's not a bad It's a baton that was handed over to them by their own parents. They saw how their parents were doing things and they thought that was the right way. Remember, they were not that civilized like we are now. So they wouldn't have access to all of this information that we are having currently.
Mm.
So everything that you have experienced from your parents is not that they wouldn't have done it better. Therefore, a child that was abused by maybe the father or the mother, just know that he too is going through trauma. It's an expression of bottled up emotions that he also went through in his parents. So as you are seeking for therapy for yourself, they too should also get healings. You understand? They need healing. They need to heal as well. Then, if I must say, in relationship and marriage, now that you have known that you need healing, you need to detox yourself, you need to get better, then it is now important for you to cultivate new habits, for you to unlearn and relearn new ones that you will use in your parenting journey and in your relationship. If you are abused in a relationship and you see signals of it, let the person go for a therapy. Let the person get better first before you go on with the marriage. Because frankly, you cannot change anyone. Oh. It's only God that can change someone. So if you are saying, I'm going to change her, I'm going to change him when I get married, you are just putting yourself in a mess, because it's only God that can change them. So if they did not go to therapy and know that what they are doing is not the right way, then you are going to put yourself at the danger zone. So it's important.
Exactly.
But if you're already in an abusive marriage and you are trying to figure a way to step out or get help, please get help. You and that your partner, you need help. A lot of people go through a lot in marriage. They don't want to speak out. Go for counseling. Go for counseling. It's not pastor. Pastors are not trained counselors. They
Thank
don't even know
you.
how to dance. Go for counseling. Pastors are meant to do the spiritual part of your life, not the mental health
Mental
part.
health part.
Therapy, you need it, because some of these things that is happening is that the people don't even know what they are doing. They just feel that
Eh,
it's not. So it is important you go for therapy. Then if you ever felt like you have a feeling of guilt that, oh, when as an adult that was assaulted by a female, and you are like, oh, why did I look as if I enjoyed it or this,
or
just
something.
know that you don't have power over those physiological makeup. They are just there. Your power is when they come up. If you are not in a state of maybe where you can caution yourself, then you will now begin to try and look for a way to suppress it. But in a situation where you don't have a way of suppressing it, you are just handicapped. So you couldn't have do much better. So
Mhm.
just heal. If you need more, you need to go for therapy, you can contact us. We are always available.
Thank you so much. So we have someone. Good news. Mobolaji
Yes.
says that I'll DM you. I'll send you a DM. Ma. We have a program for young boys in September, and we will appreciate if you can attend. Well done with the
Mm,
amazing work. God bless you. Mobolaji, I'll
thank
send you our Instagram
you.
handle.
Let me to have that. I will send you a DM. Okay, let me see it so that I
Yes.
can get the person. I will reply the person later.
Okay. It's underscore Mobolaji at all. Like, it was actually our first guest on Let's Talk
Okay.
Masculinity, and he really held it down. I think you were around too. You were present. I think I
Yes,
saw.
I was. Yes.
Yeah.
So I will do that. No problem. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I appreciate.
Thank you too. Thank you to everyone that made this a reality. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. I think we have to end the live here. We love you. I
Yes.
look forward to working more.
A
You
big,
said
big thank you to you. I said I must say a big, big thank you to you, because it's not easy to want to share about childhood experiences. It's not easy. And I must, in short, I must commend you, because doing a program for May is, it's female that are always gingering to programs and
yes.
all of those.
Yes.
So you, even the low turn off sometimes might be discouraging, but I just want to admire your courage. You have really tried, you pulled it up, and all of those things you do alongside with it. May God bless you and strengthen you
Amen.
and make you better, and bring a, will I say, a cute sweetheart that
Hey.
will compensate you, that
Yes.
will not judge
Amen.
you, that will love you for who you are, in the name of Jesus. And you continue to sow
Amen. that will
in
support the
everything.
ministry, because there is more in the bag that we have
Yes,
physical, not even
important.
virtual programs like this.
Yes, yes, yes. It's very important. Having somebody that will support your dream is very important. And
Ah,
that's one of the mistakes some of us make sometimes. You go and marry a man that like fishing and you like entrepreneur
ah,
in the business world. You will not say, let's go to the river to go and fish. You say, I can't go there. Whereas you have to pursue your purpose together.
yeah, exactly.
Issues are deep when it comes to mental health. It's deep.
It's
I
so deep.
can't explain
It's
it.
actually life. It's everything. It's the bedrock of everything. It's everything.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for having
I look
me.
forward
Thank
to
you for
working with you more and learning more from you. We'll talk about the learning aspect. I think I'm interested
problem.
in one or two things, because I also look forward to launching my coaching program online, you know, where I'll have a sales funnel. And because for me, I think what prompted me to even come and register for that course is because of I felt like, okay, I wanted to have a professional qualification, because it's what I didn't know that it's counseling I've been doing all my life for kids, teenagers, and people, even my friends, and then they just, I don't know where the technique comes from. But when I did a program online on Udemy, professional counseling, and then I found out that everything they taught us was what I've always been doing with people. But with time, you get to learn more and more. Like I've learned today too, and I know that, okay, I think there's more to learn. So yes, we'll talk about that. Fingers crossed.
Thank,
All
thank you.
right.
I love
Yeah,
you.
regards to
Bye.
family. Bye.
I love you. Thank you everyone for having me. Thank
Yes,
you. Bye. It
bye.
was a pleasure. Thank you.